This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Getting to know yourself can be a very long journey. We got intricacies that can be super difficult to find on your own. Therapy is all about deepening that self-awareness and helping you understand you. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist to take you on that journey of getting to know you. Listen, y'all, therapy helps. Please feel no shame. It's 2023 after all. Therapy has helped me find out the root of a lot of issues that I've had with myself and just in life in general. It is also essential to get all that stuff you've been holding on to off of your chest. Stop letting it weigh you down. If you've ever thought about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. The whole process is all online. It's meant to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your busy schedule. Fill out a brief survey, and then you'll get matched with a licensed therapist that you can switch at any time if things don't work out. Discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Bombcast today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Bombcast. Thanks, BetterHelp. Yo, SquareSpace is the all-in-one platform for building the website of your dreams to assist in getting your business off the ground. If you're trying to get a salon, a gym, a cafe, opening up a web store to sell prints of your hot dog paintings, SquareSpace is the place to help you make all of that happen. I've got absolutely no idea or no experience making a website, and that doesn't matter with SquareSpace. They've got world-class templates to help you create a snazzy-looking website to help you attract people to whatever you want them to see. The people need to see bespoke hot dog pictures. Squarespace has a whole bunch of analytical tools also to help you get your valuable insight as to what your business needs to continue growing or to find out where your website is really resonating. And you can also open up an online store and sell a whole bunch of physical or digital products all with Squarespace too. Sell prints, gift cards, or digital portraits of hot dogs, all with Squarespace. Head to squarespace.com/bombcast for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use offer code BOMBCAST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks, Squarespace. Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday, April 11th, 2023. Welcome to episode 784 of the Giant Bomb Cast. Several of us have been kissed by the sun of the West Coast. The sun of San Diego has blessed us, giving us kisses on the cheek and on the forehead. The Los Angeles sun was a little bit too harsh. But hey, we'll take our wet bets later. I'm your host this week, Jan Ochoa. Joining me as always, co-captain of the ship, decked out in a lovely garb. Jeff Grubb, who are you wearing right now?
I'm wearing Wario Dior. It's the latest in fashion trends. I got this from Paris Fashion Week, of course. It is every square inch of the shirt is just Wario's beautiful face. I did pack this, and I meant to wear it during the Mario Party segment, but I did not. I was not confident enough to wear this in public, but here I am now.
Speaking about confidence in public, we got Jeff Bakalar, who's always knocking down drinks, cheersing virtually everyone he sees at any opportunity. If you've got a glass, he'll I was gonna say tap that ass, but we're past the
tap that glass.
Tap that glass. Well, I can't rhyme glass with glass.
You can.
Right. Okay. All right. Real quick anecdote. My favorite thing about E40 is that he has several rhyme schemes, but he'll go dominoes, dominoes, and he'll just change the inflection, and it feels like a whole different word. Jeff Bakalar,
two different words. Hello. Welcome back. I missed you all so very much. Thank you for being here. It's a damn pleasure. I had a real scorching case of the FOMOs while you were away. It's very lovely to see your beautiful faces once again.
And speaking about beautiful faces, we've got actively working on his hand exercise regimen, Dan Reichert.
I got to get back in there, man. I'm missing, it's my calling, the punch out, and I haven't been able to do it for like a month and a half.
What's the timeline for recovery?
I don't know, but my physical therapy thing was 3 times a week, and that's a lot of time.
That's a lot.
Getting there, and it's just like,
Yeah,
so
but do it for Mike.
Right.
You're doing it for Mike Tyson.
I am. I called him when I got back. I called him today, and I was like, hey, I'm back in town after 12 days, but I'm got to get some stuff in order, so I'll call you when I'm ready to come back. So I just don't know if I just do it myself. I'll buy these things on Amazon. I'll fix it myself. I'm basically a doctor. We'll just get this figured out.
You just got a bunch of like stress balls, and you're like, that's how I'm gonna fix my hand.
No, I got the fister thing. The fister thing's good.
What? Okay, so what is the fister thing supposed to work on? I'm assuming it's your wrists
it's like a
and your
sandwich
forearms.
press. Well, yeah, it's like what do they say? The myofascial thing.
For audio listeners, there's a roller, and then there's like a roller with like sort of bumps on it. It does look like something Gwyneth Paltrow would sell for like vagina health.
No, it's not for my vagina.
Merch.
It's not for my vagina. It's for my wrist and hands.
Look, the thing you're holding looks like a vagina, if we can be honest with ourselves.
I mean, if you're getting
just this
filthy, I
moment.
guess. Yeah.
Well, depending. Yeah, okay, sure. I could see it. I can see it.
I'm just trying to get myofascial release.
So wait, so this was like recommended by some sort of PT person?
Yeah, actually, yes. This was recommended by a
Hideo
PT person.
Kojima. What?
Yes, that's correct. I would let him be my physical therapist.
Oh,
if
you wouldn't let
Hideo
Gwyneth
Kojima
Paltrow be
designed
your
a
physical
vagina, it would
therapist.
look
All
like
right.
that. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
It's not wet enough, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I could change that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
we don't.
okay.
I got a faucet. Is what I'm saying.
Well, I know, but like I don't know if like the wetness will help like lubricate or expedite your physical therapy going on
I think
there.
I want the friction.
Didn't you just dry off from where we were at? Like you were just basically stopping about the entire weekend.
Oh,
Nice.
we'll have to wait for that video.
We cannot spoil too much just yet.
I'm getting soaked in a video that's going up on giantbomb.com soon.
Yes, the podcast gets too dirty when Mike is on, so that's why we have to just get super duper wet right now. Just clean it off. Just hose it off. And boy,
My kid just came up to me to tell me she does not like this guy that's on my shirt. So
Oh,
now we
no.
know. Now we
Is he
know.
not a meep?
She's one of the good ones.
He's
one of the
not
good
a
ones.
meep. That's right, Dan.
Okay, all right.
Wario is not a meep.
the kid gets 2 podcast points. I think that puts her in the league currently.
Oh,
if
congrats.
we're all
Daddy got
keeping
2
track.
podcast points.
There we go.
Hey.
Wait, no, that shouldn't count.
Dan, well, you no one knows this in the video, but off air, you got 12 podcast points, and that's fine.
That's right. I'm trying to keep my lead.
Gentlemen, it's been
You have the lead?
Yeah.
no.
fine.
Someone has 1,000 podcast points. Don't worry, Dan. You'll get up there. You'll get up there. You have like a multiplier right now.
Oh, excellent.
I've been seeing nothing but these 2 gentlemen for like the past couple days. Bakalar, how you doing? Besides feeling the FOMOs.
I'm doing okay, I was away myself the week before last, so I'm all recovered from that excursion. I'm feeling good.
Bakalar, are you a hitman?
Nope.
You travel a lot. I think you might be an international hitman.
I feel like even if I were one, I wouldn't tell you. So there's just no
You
way to
wouldn't
know.
answer. Oh, you're not. It's not one of those hitmans that always has to tell the truth. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I might be getting my things mixed up.
I'm one of those lying hitmen that you read about in the papers. That's me.
Okay.
Yeah, I am a hitman. I do dress in all black. I feel like that probably lends itself pretty well to that occupation.
Did you drink a drink with an umbrella thing in it?
Yeah.
Oh, so did we. Oh, there were
so
no
we definitely
umbrellas.
did.
Oh, we did,
actually.
yeah.
No umbrellas.
Why? What happened?
I think mine did. I
I think yours definitely. Yes, I feel like
the
I at
grass
least
skirt,
had one
yeah.
drink with an umbrella.
We'll
in it
talk
at some
about
point.
we'll talk about that in a few.
Well, we were working. He was lounging.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the most lounging I've ever been at work, though. Just to be clear.
Oh yeah, it was a loungy work
Oh
trip. Yeah.
my god. All right. Well, this is normally where the game's music would play. Unless are we done catching up and schmoozing?
No, we're not done catching up. We have to talk about something important.
He's putting his leg through it now.
I got plantar fasciitis, guys.
Oh, he's wearing. You're defiling the
Bakalar-
moral joggers.
no, this
Bakalar-
works with joggers. Jeans would be too
You're
thick.
defiling the moral joggers.
Jeans would be too thick.
Bakalar, I was going to save that for the game of the week.
Oh, okay, cool.
If this doesn't end up on WikiFeet, I'm going to be mad at our audience at this point.
No, I think it's ever
It's
so
just
slightly out of
barefoot.
frame.
Foot's out of frame.
I saw the foot earlier. All right,
Foot's
I'm
out of
sorry. I did.
frame.
This is for all those ankle freaks out there.
I thought after spending like 8 days with Dan Reichert, I couldn't be surprised, but I'm surprised.
Oh, look at the doctor in the chat saying plantar fasciitis has nothing to do with your calf muscle, lol. Yeah, talk to every doctor I've ever talked to. It's a tightness in your calf muscles. You're supposed to do calf stretches in the morning to alleviate plantar fasciitis pain. Dr. Chat?
Dr. Chat.
My goodness.
Dr. Chat. Don't. Oh, yeah, okay. Don't refer to Dr. Chat. Maybe seek out a second opinion, but not in chat.
Okay, got it.
All right. Let's play the video game music.
Yay.
I'm just gonna get this off at the tippy top. I didn't play squat.
I played a couple games on the plane.
I played Resident Evil 4 in a hotel. Yeah.
That's cool.
I played Mike Tyson in a car.
Yes.
Yeah.
People
How
see
was
that.
that?
They will see that. Yes.
It's a bonus Grubberlang, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
I you know what? I played a couple of holes of EA Sports PGA Tour. Should I just
How
talk
is
about
that?
Yeah, how
please,
is that?
because I'm
Right.
curious. I'm curious.
It feels like a first attempt at a golf game after 10 years not making one. It really feels like that.
Like in a good way?
I mean, not really. I'm playing on PC, which might have extra issues. You know how PC ports are this year. They've been pretty rough. I've been playing on PC. You sent me an Xbox code. I'll try that next. But it feels rough. For one thing, the UI feels like, replay modes in sports games where the icons become very utilitarian. The entire UI feels like that throughout all of it. And I'm like, there's no a key to tell you what does this icon even mean. So in PGA Tour's golf game, there's a button to hit that when you're putting to see what the line is going to do, to see what your putt's going to do. So you have a preview of it, and you get one of those per putt. So you can kind of okay, this is what it's like. This is how the ball's going to roll. And this game might have that, but I can't figure out for the life of me what button would do that, or if that's some other thing that I would have to turn on somewhere, because I'm pretty lost by just this entire interface. Then the actual presentation feels a little bit bare bones. I'll say the character models are kind of freaky looking. I'm playing as Scotty. Well, I can't remember his name
Pippin?
now.
Is it still rapping Rory McIntosh or whoever they replaced Tiger with?
I don't think Rory McIntyre is in.
McIlroy?
Rory McIlroy.
Yes.
There we go. I don't think he's in here. But there's a handful. Bryce Koepka. A bunch of people who are playing the Masters this past weekend.
I'll say Ricky Fowler is the only other
Scotty
golfer
Scheffler.
I'm
That's who I was
familiar
playing
with.
How's Tiger now? Is Tiger
Spieth.
cool?
Spieth.
There's a Spieth as well, but I was playing as Scheffler. There's Jason Day is in there, a bunch of other big names, but Tiger is in the PGA Tour one, I think. He's not
Is
in.
he good now, or is he?
I'm sorry, he's in the 2K one. This is PGA Tour. Tiger is fine. He made the cut, but he wasn't at all in the run for the lead during the Masters at any point. But it's got a handful of known golfers. You can create your own character. Then you can go into the career mode. I just did a couple holes to see how it felt, and I think it feels okay. It's doing the thing that all golf games are doing now, where it's no longer the 3-button press. It is, you're going to have the stick, you're going to pull it back, and you're trying to time the forward press with a decent amount of power, but not overdoing it, so that you're accurate, but you have full power.
I mean, that was Tiger 03. They were doing that 20 years ago.
Okay, well, for me, golf games were always the bum, bum, bum.
The arcade style, Mario Golf, Hot Shots, stuff like that. Tiger always had the analog controls.
Tiger, so. Okay, so yes, okay, fair enough. So I was, but there's the 2K way of doing it and this way of doing it, where it's what really matters here in the 2K game? Timing super duper matters. Right. Here it's timing does matter, but it seems like there's a lot more leeway, where mostly you're going to do your shot how you planned it out. It's mostly going to be accurate. You're not going to shank a lot of stuff, where it's actually pretty easy to shank in a 2K game. So I'm I kind of like that, but does that get more difficult as you amp up the difficulty? I think it probably does, but on the normal settings, it's been pretty easy to just have pretty good shots. The difficult part is the short game stuff. All the short game, it is very difficult to tell how hard I'm hitting anything that is a chip shot, trying to get things on the green from 50 yards away or 25 to 50 yards away. That's really, really difficult in this game, where I felt it was a lot easier to do in 2K.
Let's be fair, right? As it turns out, golf is fucking impossible.
Yeah, it's just a hard thing in general. Yeah, totally.
And I'm good, and it's fucking impossible.
You're the best. You're the best golfer I've ever met.
Well, how's that true? Okay, thank you. Yes, I am. Also, why should the game be any easier? When I played 2K, whatever the fuck it was, a couple years ago, they were super horny for the timing, right? Where like, because they wanted your backswing to be like one sort of like continuous pendulum sort of thing.
Yeah, totally.
And it sounds like, and that was like the swing stick mechanic as well, right? So you're saying this one is not so much, it's more about being straight for like, not to fade or slice the ball. Is that like kind of the vibe I'm getting here?
Yeah, right. Exactly. You're going to definitely see the track of your stick as you like pull it back and then push it forward. Yeah. It's going to show you the little like, okay, here's how accurate you were. And every single one of mine is like wildly veering off to the side. And I'm not getting too punished again, but you definitely see how, I was planning the ball to go over here. There's barely any wind, and yet it's going 12 yards to the left instead. And clearly I could see that because my shot veered off to the right as I was doing it, and it kind of is compensating for that. So yeah, but again, it's not it doesn't feel super difficult. I did see a ton of difficulty sliders. It does seem some of the reviews I saw on Steam were like, yeah, if you start this on hard, if you're someone who's familiar with golf games, it's actually going to feel really good. So I think that the golf itself seems pretty solid. I definitely encountered a lot of bugs on PC where audio wouldn't play, the sort of splash screen for like you're playing at Augusta for the Masters. Yeah. It was like flashing weirdly. It didn't support my widescreen. I have the ultra widescreen. It's like if you have the shorter widescreen, we would support that, but we're still going to act like we do. So we're just going to stretch out all the graphics. And it's like, oh, that's not great. And then I switched it to the other monitor and I couldn't get it to like click in and be like, okay, well, this one's not ultra wide, but it does have a much higher resolution. Can I get support for that? No, I would have to stop the game and start it over. So it doesn't seem like a great PC port, but it seems like one that if it like runs fine on Steam Deck, it might be fine for that. I think on a quick taste test, I'm preferring 2K's game to EA's game. But I think next year they're going to be, if they do the annual golf release, I think it'll be in a good place now that they have this foundation to build on.
All right. I mean,
what does multiplayer work like in PGA Tour? Is it like Mario Golf where we're all golfing at the same time and running after it?
That's how it works in 2K. I haven't tried it here, but I assume that's sort of the standard for golf games now. Is most of the time, if you want to just have everyone swing at the same time, that's at least an option to make sure things are going pretty fast. But yeah, that's maybe we get enough codes. Maybe we could just do a round of golf with all of us.
I would love to. I look, I'm like a golf game guy. I'm into that. I do like it.
You're
I think
a GG
I got
Beat
really.
Boy.
Yeah, everyone calls me that. I was really into, for like really short-lived, the 2K version that came out a couple years ago. Like I said, the problem though was the online experience was so slow. Like they wouldn't let you tee off at the same time. From what I remember,
I think the new one does do that.
Yeah. Okay. And that was just like psychotic to me. How I was like, oh, I have to wait to watch my friend shoot. That's crazy.
We know what we got to do is, Bakalar, we got to get you one of those IRL cameras. And since you're the only person that can actually golf, you go to the shoot golf course that we're playing virtually, and we time it all out. We have you in a window while we're playing
you
on the
play
virtual
Augusta?
course. Yeah, you go to Augusta. Dude. We'll play in the game. We sync it all up.
I hate that.
You got to run
idea.
after the ball every time.
I just want to be clear.
Not drive after it. Run.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate everything about it.
Good content. Good content.
I think, well, for content, we could do virtual golf. I think, like, if we went to a virtual golf thing.
Oh, one of those, like the hanger things with like the
we got to do that
with the big screen. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't be seen with like people who are fucking ruining, chopping up the course, driving on the green with the golf cart. I just can't be seen with you people.
Is this another Call of Duty situation where you're going to be embarrassed by us?
Yeah, we're
without a doubt.
Your real Call of Duty friends.
I'm laying it on as clear as I possibly can, Jen. I just can't be associated.
Let me ask you: are you ashamed of us?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. What gave you that impression?
You didn't want to be seen with us
on the golf course, Jen. Everywhere else,
maybe. Fancy friend with his fancy golf high society country club friends. You can't be seen with us peasants.
We'll be drinking Arnold Palmer's at the club, Bakalar.
That's right.
There you go. There you go.
I would love to play a round of golf with you guys. I think that would be the most hilarious shit. Well, it would be 8 hours. It would take, first of all, and it would be amazing. And
book us a golf simulator. Book us one. Do it. Make it happen.
All right.
All right, cool.
Yes,
there
it's
we
happening.
Go. All right, fantastic.
Done and done. Done and dusted.
This is EA Tiburon. This is the Madden people. They used to do the previous EA golf games. Tiger and Rory. Seems like they know that they want to get back to that. I could tell that it was Tiburon because your character automatically defaults as being from Orlando, Florida, which is where Tiburon is based at. So
Got it.
The EA Performance Center.
Right, the EA Performance Center where they really train up the young guns. Absolutely.
EA 2.0. Yeah,
exactly. I'm glad they're back. I'm glad they're doing this. I'm glad that we have more than one golf game on the market. I'm glad that because with the 2K game, really the big distinction here is EA is willing to spend the money to go out and license Augusta, and I think they have Pebble Beach, and I think a lot of those have not been in a golf game, at least on console, for almost 10 years. Oh. So it's cool. Okay, they're back, and we get the Masters in here and things like that. And sure, I think I do prefer the 2K game, but I think that this is not so far behind that it's impossible to imagine for them to catch up to that. I think they probably will get there, and it'll be good to have these options. So if you have a particular course you want to play, at least one of the games should have it.
You have to license those parks? They're not like government land or anything?
I mean, they're all private, right? Privately
They're very
owned
much
and
not
everything.
government.
It's not like a national park?
No,
Dan.
Golf courses are not national parks.
No, they don't. They're not. They don't just occur.
What do you think a national park is, Dan? What do you think that is for?
What do you think a park is?
Bunch of trees and grass and nature, and like golf courses are always beautiful and have lakes and stuff. So I thought that might
there
be
is nothing natural.
It's the most unnatural thing.
You have to mow it. I mean, look, if I went,
it is one of the least natural things ever. A golf
fucking
course.
Costco is more natural than a golf course.
Yes, absolutely.
They would sell more trees at a Costco.
Yeah,
they would. They're closer to carbon net zero than a fucking golf course is.
But like, if I wanted to make a video game based in like Yellowstone National Park, like I could do that, right? Because that's just like, hey, that's just all of ours, right?
Yeah, that is public land. Yes, I do believe that would fall under public domain. Yes.
And taxes don't go into golf courses?
They probably do. They probably do, but not because they're national parks or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah. In like nefarious ways.
Oh, yeah, there are public courses. Yes, some cities will have public courses and things like that. Yes, but even those are mostly paid through dues.
If you're in Golden Gate Park here in San Francisco, there is a golf course that is publicly owned, but it's a disc golf course.
Well, that's
cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think we would kill at like Ultimate Frisbee.
Dude,
I throw frisbees all the time. I would love to play that.
Boom.
Any golf course can be a disc golf course. Okay. Just
if you believe.
Fair enough.
If you really believe. Exactly.
Other than that, I played some Resident Evil 4 in my hotel room.
Yeah. Steam Deck.
It's still great on there. Absolutely. And then we talked about the Tony Hawk's soundtrack for a really long time at dinner one night, and I went back to my hotel room and played a bunch of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2. So
what's your favorite
all the hottest games are here.
What's your favorite? I want to know. How much were you talking about?
Boy.
The one that always just comes to mind is Superman, but I like anything that like whenever Rage would come on, I'd be like, oh god, yes, this.
Yeah, Guerrilla Radio and Ace of Spades are up there for me.
Yeah,
the Dell, the Funky Homo Sapien one from 3. If You Must, that's a good one.
Yes.
What else is in there?
Because that song's about how you stink.
Yeah, or else you'll be funky.
About.
You'll be funky if you don't wash your ass.
Funky.
Yeah, man, those games. Yeah, we were talking about Tony Hawk a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about our little trippy trip? We may have to breeze over some parts of it because that videos will be coming out about that. We visited Super Nintendo World. A video will be coming soon about that. I had fun.
I had fun too. We visited. We'll have a few videos coming out of our time in LA. One of them will be focused on Super Nintendo World, not Land. And we were able to. We did the Mario Kart. We did a few things there. Didn't do some things for certain reasons, but you'll see all of our praise and criticism and everything of the park in that video.
I'm excited.
Yes.
Like Grubb, I didn't think to do sunscreen, so my eyes were hurting by the end. They felt sunburned.
See, if I was there, we all would have been paler than how we arrived.
I got the bald head now too, so I really got to watch after that. So yeah, I was feeling it. And then LA is fucked up where it's like cold in the morning because we have to get there before the sun comes up.
This was messed up.
We're in like a jacket and stuff, and then like 2, 3, it's just the sun is beating down. It's hot as hell. You got a jacket with you at the park like an idiot. It's LA is dumb.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
One of my memorable things from our time at Universal was Dan just says, "Oh, look, it's Shrek," and then I yell at the top of my lungs, "Shrek!" I don't know why I was so excited. Maybe I'm just
Shoot
excited.
Shrek. We saw Shoot Shrek.
We saw Shoot Shrek, and I was excited about the prospects of Shrek 5.
Did we too sweet Shrek?
I think we too
did.
sweeted the princess.
We
Cameron
did. That's
Diaz.
right. Fiona. No.
Yeah.
I tried to. You think you did? I tried to, and she gave me the coldest shoulder I have ever had. She just did not even acknowledge the too sweet.
Well, she's a princess, Grubb. What do you expect?
Now I expect that. Now I expect it to be stepped on and treated like trash. Yes.
I got one from Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's
right.
not
Yeah,
a spoiler.
They were Bullet Club. They're Bullet Club for life.
Oh yeah.
They are,
For life.
Optimus Prime definitely hooked me up. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a video of that. It cuts off him actually giving me the too sweet, but don't worry, we'll get that all to you.
And we'll have two videos of that, like Dan said, one centered around Super Nintendo World, and then the rest of our adventures around the park. Spoilers for folks. I brought my 360 cam, and it was just hilarious having Grubb and Dan just like looking and like popping around it, saying like, "Is it following me? Is it following me?" And it's like it's seeing everyone. It doesn't have to follow you guys.
Yeah,
it's great times. Great times.
It was cool to see in that footage and seeing like third person mode, where it like what really was just a third person camera behind Jan. That was really cool stuff. So I'm excited to see how all this stuff comes together. But we're mostly being cagey about it because we want you guys to watch these videos, and it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. We found some fun stuff everywhere we went, whether it was Super Nintendo World or Universal Studios proper, which had a lot of cool stuff. I really liked the Mummy ride. But yeah, there was a ton of cool stuff that, eating at some fun places. And then that Universal City Walk, is that what it's called? City Walk. We basically spent like 2.5 straight days, like just there.
Oh my God. The Corona Rita. I can't get over it, guys.
Yeah. You were skeptical. You liked it.
I did. Bakalar, I drank so much blue this week.
Yeah, we based
the color blue.
The color blue was basically the official
Boozy
food
blue
of this trip. Yes.
Yeah.
Why? Why was everything blue? Nothing is blue. What is
so
that?
many things are blue at Universal Studios City Walk.
Man.
That Corona Rita was, I'm like, we didn't eat it, Bubba Gump, but we drank one of the best drinks of the weekend there for sure. So shout out to Forrest.
It was crazy delicious.
Yeah,
rum, Forest rum. Yeah.
Then we went across the street to the AMC there to see Mario, and I had a Jurassic Park IPA, and that was also really good.
Yeah.
So
I had
dumb place.
I had 2 hot dogs for some reason. I don't know. I was compelled to. Speaking about watching a movie, we also did a spoiler cast for the Super Mario Brothers movie. It's now out on the Giant Bomb Presents feed. Bakalar hasn't seen it yet, and we don't want to spoil it for folks listening live right now, but go listen to it if you've watched the movie. Here are our thoughts on it.
Mario podcast. We did a Power Bombcast about WrestleMania. Upcoming video of me talking to wrestlers and stuff. We got a lot of shit in the can.
We did a lot of stuff.
Content with a capital C, baby.
That's just the first leg of the trip, too.
Yes.
Then we
went to DreamHack.
Yes, we're also at DreamHack. Those videos, the archives of those streams and our stage shows are going to dole out over the rest of the week. The Jenga video is up right now. And let me tell you, I was out for blood.
Yeah, you were a killer. I was legit scared at a certain point, the way you guys were in there to kill it. Like,
Jan, you posted that clip of you doing the silent kind of walk up and get your business done thing. It's genuinely the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
I'm not
Thank
kidding.
you, sir.
Just no selling
very
everything.
impressive stuff.
Yeah, it was very, very.
Because I was like, I literally just glanced over to watch them cheering, and then I glanced back, and you're already walking away, having placed something. It was horrifying.
Jan had legitimate international talent scouts approaching him after.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about the
we don't have to talk
specifics.
specifics, but you had business cards.
Yes.
Chill.
There's no specifics.
Chill.
Yeah,
Come
we
on.
don't need to say the specifics. But that was the weirdest part of my week.
Be cool.
We're sorry, but we just can't talk about specifics.
No, just he's an athlete. He's an athlete.
Come on.
Yeah. Let me also mention all Jenga sets are not created equally, especially knockoff Jenga sets. That one specifically was not uniform. And there was
I saw that. Why was that? What the hell was going on?
So, we're on a big stage. I thought it'd be funny if we played normal shoot Jenga, but then we're on a big stage. It'll play fine for the folks at home, but for folks watching live, a little tiny Jenga set is not going to be fun. So we got giant Jenga, and the giant Jenga, we learned that maybe the Jenga Corporation has a copyright or a patent on shoot Jenga. So
the shape and them all being like uniform sides. Yes. These were all janky and had like splinters coming out of them.
How old is Jenga?
Let's guess. No,
okay.
Don't look at the chat. Don't look at the chat. Right. I'm going to guess.
Because I want to just point out there, a patent only lasts for 20 years.
I'm going to say 1972 was the first Jenga sold under the name Jenga.
I won't participate because I have to go look it up. And
okay, all right. But then I was going to say it's at least like 30 years old. So I'm going to say the late 80s.
Yeah, I was going to say 85 was the first number that came into my head.
All right,
so
late 80s, 72, 85. All right, according to Google, introduced to the public at the famous Harrods department store in London in 1982, Jenga was launched in North America in 1986.
Okay. So a patent would no longer apply. So you could do the exact style of Jenga as is, unless they maybe have a trademark on that shape and size. Maybe.
Wait a minute.
But that shouldn't really be able to work that way.
So if the patent runs out after that much time, could I literally just like basically not shot for shot, but you know what I mean? Exactly.
Block for
a
block.
Monopoly board
Shoot for shoot.
Call it Monopoly and sell it? Can I do that?
Monopoly's trademarked, and that lasts forever. Trademarks last forever.
Wait,
so
did
call
Jenga
Monopoly.
that trademark?
It's the difference.
Well, the Jenga name can be trademarked. You can't call it Jenga, but you could do the shape of a Monopoly board. Basically, you just wouldn't be able to use stuff like a boardwalk in Park Place, because that would be included in their essentially a copyright of what their board is.
Oh, can I say
copyrights also last for a lot longer, not forever, but a lot longer. Patents are the thing like this is the way something works, and that lasts for 20 years. And so the patent on the D-pad that Nintendo had, remember everything had to have something other than a cross D-pad.
Yeah.
But now you can, because that patent was up way more because it's been a lot longer than 20 years since they patented that. So
interesting. Okay.
Yes. And then, of course, any lawyers listening, you could always try to correct me because I always want to get that stuff right.
Any doctors also listening, try and correct that legal advice as well, please.
Any professionals out there at all?
Yes.
It's a catch-all.
If you've ever had a job.
Yes.
Are you employed?
If you have ever had a manager, reported to a manager, been a manager, please write in. And also while we were playing Jenga, I didn't know whether or not to play heel or play face or just be like a Bret Hart type of baby face. It was great. We also played Mario Party with our lovely friends from fandom, Emma Fife and Bailey Myers.
And I was definitely the face, right? Or you said that we were all heels during
You guys were all
Not
heels.
Not me. I was Brett in Canada. What are you talking about?
Sure.
Grubb was definitely HBK in Canada with how much he was bad mouthing.
He humped the DreamHack flag.
I used a San Diegan flag as toilet paper. Yeah.
Oh shit! Shitting all over San Diego, which was killing me.
It was great.
He was doing cheap heat. Like I love that.
I love that cheap heat. You know,
in the mic.
Shitting on the Padres.
It was like the map was confusing me. Like it's better than the map of San Diego. And real dumb stuff.
If we ever get invited to another DreamHack and we do another Mario Party, we just have to poo all over the city just for the cheap heat.
Yes, absolutely.
Every delicious cheap heat.
Yeah.
And then one of us has to come out in like a sports team jersey of that city and be like, I'll defend the lovely San Diegans here. I'm a Padre.
Yeah. No, we gotta have the jerseys under a zip-up jacket so we can have the reveal.
There we go. There we go. We also had a live episode on stage of the voicemail dump truck, again with Emma and Bailey. Shouts out to them once again for being good sports. And y'all talked about Luigi's a little too long for my taste.
Penis.
Well, it's long.
It's the thing we were most passionate about for sure. So we felt the need to go long on it. But I was just offended on his behalf because everyone's like, he doesn't have one at all. And I'm like, I've seen the blog post of people measuring his doodad. And so I wanted to get out there and like represent my boy. Luigi's got a dick.
I'm going to guess that was a Kotaku article, right?
It definitely was, yes.
Okay. Like their wheelhouse.
Actually, it might have also been a Polygon article.
Also sounds like their wheelhouse.
Oh, those dirty polygons.
Luigi's penis length. This is a good Google search.
Yes.
Yeah, does it like autofill?
And I felt like I shouldn't have included that Scarlet Maiden voicemail, but I thought, YOLO.
No, I was very excited when I saw that. Listen, It's the truth. We only spoke fact. Had I been making up stuff just to be like, I want to talk about boobies. No, this is all just factual things about using the platform Steam.
I've seen your library, yes.
Yes, you have.
Also, shouts out. We did a quick little Mario Maker stream. Levels created and curated by Dave Klein of GameSpot. Dastardly levels.
Yes, they were.
Yeah,
that
last one sucked.
Yeah. We also did a couple
Dan,
more.
did you finish any of them?
Dan did, yeah.
Probably all of them. Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think so. I did the first one for sure.
Oh, that's right. You did the first one. That's right.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That's right. Not as fast as me, but yeah.
And we'd love to get the homies on some stuff in the future. Maybe we can somehow convince Em and Bailey to get back up on the dump truck, or perhaps some other programs across the Giant Bomb universe. Gentlemen, any other stuff to say about our times together in California? I know there's one thing I was saving to the end because of how magical it was.
Oh.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's talk about that next. Yeah, and in terms of anything else, I don't know. I just I really liked San Diego. That was a fun place to hang out. It was
San Diego's amazing. Los Angeles as garbage as ever, if not worse. But San Diego, good, nice city. Really enjoyed my time there. LA, steaming, stinky hellhole.
Yeah,
second
LA's
only
terrible.
to San Francisco. Yes.
Wow. I mean, there's parts where I can't disagree. That's a good idea, Seraphis Kane. I want to give a special shout out. We're not on the shout out segment of the podcast quite just yet, but special shout out to Chef Bob for inviting us to the Grass Skirt. If you're ever in San Diego and you are in the mood for tiki drinks, please check out the Grass Skirt. Absolutely fantastic. And if you're there on Fridays, you may be treated to a warlock. This is probably going down. Honest to God, shoot. Is maybe like top 15 dinner experiences ever in my life.
Easy.
And I've eaten a lot of food.
Food-wise, the whole vibe of the place, and also the goddamn warlock, all of that just added up to be a magical dinner. The drinks were incredible, but oh my God, close-up magic at our table. We were getting a damn Copperfield level show right in front of our faces. He's stabbing. Jan wrote his name or something on a card at one point, and Nick Ivory, the magical Nick Ivory, put it in a lunch bag with a bunch of other cards and shook it up and then whipped out a switchblade and stabbed the fucking bag and just had just Jan's card stabbed through. It's insane. Just absolutely nuts.
He had a bunch of tricks and he targeted all of us. I felt especially targeted that he looked at me and he asked, "Are you a gambling man?" And then I'm like, "What do you know? Get out of my head." The first trick he opened with, he takes Grubb's card and he has Grubb right on it, Mr. 73, and then he pulls it out of his mouth later.
Yes.
Yeah. Or when
just as talking to us too. He was just talking to us. We looked down at his hand and he's like, "Now look back up," and he just pulls it out of his mouth. And that was impressive. It just kept getting more impressive after that.
When he told me to think of a card and I thought of the 7 of diamonds and he turned over 3 $20 bills and it was written 7 of diamonds on it because I was thinking about it.
It was amazing.
Yep. It was incredible.
And it was insane.
Good.
And then the main event is him getting a $20 bill from Dan. Dan writing
into a $1 bill.
Turned into a $1 bill. We forget about it. And then he makes the $1 bill disappear. And then cuts open a lemon to pull out Dan's $20 bill that he wrote on.
He wrote in Sharpie, red Sharpie, Dirty Dan on it, and he unfurls it wet from the lemon, shows it to him, and it just says Dirty Dan on it. And that was the one I'm like, someone should do something about Nick Ivory.
Inside a full shoot lemon that he pulled out of his pocket, rolled on the table, cut it open. There's the dollar.
He let us look at the lemon. Yeah. We looked at the lemon and examined it. It was a full untouched lemon, unspoiled by man.
People are good.
He was so good. Nick Ivory.
Dirty Dan's wet
Look this man up.
Yes. We need to get him for something. I don't know if he's...
Yeah.
Shoot lemon.
Mario Party.
Shoot lemon.
He would make the game disappear. He would make the cartridge disappear.
The franchise would no longer exist if we got Nick Ivory involved.
How come there's not a masked magician who's telling the secrets of those?
There is. There was in the 90s. Remember, there's wrestling
and
secrets revealed, magic secrets revealed,
first,
and you're gonna get some angry magicians and wrestlers after you if you pull that shit.
Yeah,
Protect the business,
I'm talking
brother.
about there's a new generation of magic where it's very physical and kind of weird, putting money inside of a fruit, as you described. I just want to see how that's done. Like I want to see it
I would
thing
let
is,
Nick Ivory cut me in half.
and take out money.
Sure.
Like we are marks in that we bought into all we believe. It's like, oh my god, this is amazing. But like we know that like misdirection and all these things are, cornerstones of
I hardly
magic.
know
And so
her.
like
It's more sleight of hand, right? Like
well, yeah, but
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm
of
just
course
trying to keep an eye on things and just like, okay, where's the seams here? Where is this happening? Like, what's he
Yeah.
doing with his other hand?
He messes up on purpose. All the cards fall on the floor or whatever,
Right,
and it's
right,
like,
right.
okay, is that the misdirection? Is he doing something down there? It's like it's always 3 or 4 steps ahead of wherever we were looking.
Cool. I love
I
that.
have ideas about some of them. I have no idea about the lemon. The lemon,
fruit is
I
just
wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah. Or like when people do like shit through glass, like I think that's really interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Seraphis brings up, yes, there is a clip of David Blaine it's an incredible clip of Harrison Ford.
I watched
It's at
this
Harrison
afterwards.
Ford's house, and he cuts open a orange, and it has Harrison Ford's card in there.
And it's one of Harrison Ford's oranges, like from his counter.
Yeah,
Sure.
and he just
Oh,
grabs
yeah.
it, cuts it open, and Harrison Ford like grips his chest and says, "Get the fuck out of my house."
Yes, that's how we felt about Nick Ivory.
That's awesome. I gotta see that.
Yes,
I
that's very
love.
good.
Oh man,
So-
David Blaine's such a goofball. I love him.
If there's any shoot magicians listening, please take me under your wing.
Yeah.
I want to train. I
we
don't
know
know how to
Randy's
take
listening.
classes. Yeah, okay, wow.
We'll protect the business. We will protect the business. We're not going to do a secret
Exactly.
reveal here. We're
We-
just going to start doing magic all the time, and Giant Bomb's going to be a magic website.
Oh my god, please.
Can I
The
not?
giant bomb.
Here's why that can't happen. Okay.
Why?
All right, here comes the businessman to shut down our creative.
Yeah.
Business Bakalar. No magic here, kids.
Mr. Bakalar gonna strut down the aisle to tell us why we can't do
He's gonna
what we love.
break my magician cane.
magic is negative ROI.
First, and then I'll strangle Santa Claus in front of your face.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
There was a dude who will go nameless. Okay, back
Like
at
Minotti.
one of the former places I used to work at, which are not many. And my man used to do he would do kind of entry level magic like all the time. Like no matter what, he had he in his pocket, he always had one of those foam red balls and would do the sleight of hands. And it was just after a while we were just sort of oh man, don't do that now. And I don't want that to be us. Okay. I don't.
Hey.
We can't have, that's all. That's the only reason.
See how much charisma is just oozing through this video call right now?
This Ivory person sounds like a true illusionist to the highest degree, and I love that.
What if we become a 4-person magician act?
Touring?
God.
Yes.
Right?
Now you see, we could rob banks too. Now you
We
see
get a
3.
bus and we go across the nation doing magic for people at restaurants.
Oh my
I would
God.
so
We
I'm all
IRL
for,
stream it.
I'm a fan and proponent of crime magic. If you want to do crime magic, I am all for
cool.
it. As long as we are stealing, yes.
Okay.
Okay. I have very specific requirements for my magic.
All right. Real quick before we get to the game of the week, let's pick magic specialties here. Grubb, what's your magic specialty?
I do want to be a mentalist. I want to be the guy that is guessing. I'm putting 7 of diamonds on a bunch of dollar bills. Yes.
Okay. Bakalar, your specialty.
Mind taker.
Okay, say less.
It's a D&D monster, I think.
Yeah.
Dan?
I want to do just the big gimmick things that David Blaine would do, where he's like, I'm just going to sit in a water balloon for 8 weeks in front of the London Bridge or whatever.
Okay. That's
That'd
hard,
be great because
it's
that would
hard to
actually
do
be
at
perfect for
tables.
and that'd be perfect for everyone because they would put you in a box for an extended period of time.
I'd stream from in there. I'd play Mario or something.
Put you there and leave you in the sun or whatever it is, and that would work.
Leave you
That
in
would
the
work
sun.
out.
I
That would
want to
be
get
okay.
I want to get really good at throwing knives.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that magic though, or is that just dexterity and
skill.
skill?
If you're
It's like a
really good at
magical
throwing
skill.
things, it becomes magic. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man. God. Yeah.
Hmm.
No. This is a shoot. Not question, statement right now. If there are any professional working magicians, hit me up because
I think you get started on YouTube pretty easily with close-up magic, and I think if you start down that path, and show some skill, you probably could convince a magician to take you under their wing.
Okay.
We could do
Well,
a
hey, how about
competition. Me and Jan learn to be magicians.
Yes,
We
let's
compete,
all learn a
and then we
trick
have
by
the
next week.
And the chat votes
next
on who the
week?
best magician is.
Yeah, I
could
could
learn
learn
a
one
card
trick. I
trick.
already got one.
Magic
We're doing-
doesn't. Not
I
a
could do
week.
it.
No.
I could do a card
one
trick.
small close-up trick. Yeah, you can learn really quickly on YouTube.
Easy.
Where's my quarter?
See?
You
You're
made
like
it
the
disappear
guy.
already.
You're like the guy. He's always got a
Little guy
ball.
right there.
Oh,
We go.
there's magicians on TikTok for what it's worth.
Whoa.
Someone make that a
Oh,
gift.
it's out your ear! Yay!
Why did you do that to Nick?
Because I didn't want him to laugh at me. I
want
respect
him to
Nick Ivory way too much.
I won a talent show in high school because of a magic act, but it was just really
What'd you
bad.
do? What'd you do?
It wasn't. The thing is
What was your
about
closer? What was your
the
closer?
thing, I cut a banana in half and I opened it and it was already cut.
That's good.
Yeah. God, I just want to be a magician so bad.
Do you though?
I do now.
Yeah.
This is my new interest of the week.
It's just wrestling with stuff disappearing is all.
Exactly.
Not
That
a
sounds
bad thing,
awesome to
but
me.
Yeah, that sounds incredible.
You don't
We don't
gotta
have
put
to
your
take
body
bumps.
on the line. Yeah, see,
Yeah, we
David
get
and I are on the
bumps.
same page.
Yeah, I
Unless
could
you're
be a
selling
heel
yourself-
magician. I steal everyone's money from their wallet. Jan makes it reappear and gives it back to him. We got babyface heel dynamics. It's like Monster Jam, but with magic.
Oh my god! And then we
That's
can do
good.
like the Montreal screw job, and it's just we make a bunch of screws disappear. Oh, this is great. All right, we're not even workshopping this now. This is happening. Sorry, Bakalar.
It's beautiful.
No, it's cool that we could all have such varyingly separate opinions on the matter. It's
Well, you
quite
didn't meet
amazing.
Nick Ivory.
Yeah, I
Bakalar,
guess not.
If you were there,
You're gonna meet him. I promise you. We're gonna make that happen.
Promise you. Lucy and Tam are probably on a plane somewhere. But if we approach them and hey, we're all taking magic classes right now, they'd be like, all right, mate, what's all this then? And then Lucy could be like, she could have like a puppet or something. I don't know, Kermit the Frog. I don't know.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a magician wrestler?
There has to be. I was going to
Almost
ask there. There has
Yeah,
to be.
what the fuck? There's a guy in like
Some
the 90s
motherfucker with a
WCW
cape
or something.
and a
I mean, is
top
Bray
hat.
Wyatt?
He's the
He's like a
furthest-
dumb magician.
Yeah.
I mean, for what it's worth, Undertaker did all kinds of mad magician
He shot
bullshit.
lightning and disappeared, and yeah.
John Cena disappears too. So
Oh, that's
pretty
pretty
good.
points
Yeah,
out.
true.
Yeah.
Like a lot of wrestling is magic, actually.
Fantasio. Yeah, that was the magician guy I'm thinking of. Yeah, Phantasmo.
Can you imagine, there's no E3 this year, but if we have like a thing where people come into in a green room and we're schmoozing, it's like, all right, cool. Jan over there is going to show you magic tricks 5 minutes before you go on. And then I pull like a quarter out of Jeff Keighley's pants pocket or something.
Yeah.
There we go.
I like it.
Speaking of E3, it was weird. I went to the WrestleMania Superstore in LA, which is basically what Access is now. And it was like a weird. I knew I was right by the convention center, but it was like a weird around the side entrance to get in there. So I didn't really realize where I was. And I asked where the bathroom is, and they're like, "Oh, you got to go through that door, go down the hall." And I just walked down there, and I realized like, "Oh, I'm in like that main concourse area of E3." Like I did not expect. Like I was there for WrestleMania. I was like, "Wait,
That's
this
right.
is
I
the
saw that
E3
picture.
place."
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a weird feeling.
Yeah. It'd be very weird to be there when there's nothing else there. That's kind of odd.
It was.
All right, gentlemen, I got signed out of this document, which anytime that happens doesn't give me a little panic attack. We get to our game of the week, and the game of the week is the Giant Bomb store is open again for business.
We did it.
We did it. We
It's
got 'em,
finally
folks.
back. We got 'em.
Store.giantbomb.com. You go there right now. It will load and you can buy things.
For shoot.
I'm very exciting. We're able to get some like discounts on shipping or free shipping if you spend enough money. There are coupon codes that people have been waiting to use for a very long time, and hopefully all that works smoothly. Shout out to Rory for getting this off the ground in a very meaningful way. And
2 podcast points to him.
yes, he's awarded points. It's exciting. It's live. It's alive. Go check it out. And if you wish to cop some of these brand new shirts that have been like waiting for ages to see the light of
What are
day,
these? I
they
forgot.
are here.
This is like
They
one of the
are
ones
here.
that the children didn't steal.
Oh, that's right. If you see an entire kindergarten class wearing Giant Bomb merch, it's Dan Reichert's fault.
It is. I did not anticipate the giant group of children getting involved.
Let me tell you, I feel like after this trip and after all these videos come out, we're going to have to reach out to some artists to design some new shirts. And I'm happy we can sell them because folks are going to want to get in on the wet bets. That's all I'll say. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, the wet bets are going to be very important.
I don't know if I'm taking any more wet bets.
Maybe you could just advise on the wet bets rather than participate in the wet bets.
All right.
I don't want you catching
of the wet
strays.
bets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a heads up, if you are purchasing stuff, just know that like all of the shirts do take a little bit to ship out, like something around like 5 to 7 business days. Just a heads up. Just want to put that out there in case you're sort of like wondering why it's not like instantaneous, but that is basically it. It's ready to roll. We've got water bottles as well. I don't think there are that many of those left. Jan's right. There's mugs, and we also have what the hell is it? Hats. We have hats like the one I'm wearing, the dad hat, and the logo hat as well. So rock and roll. Thanks for checking it out. Store.giantbomb.com. Holy shit, it's great to have this out the door.
What should also be said is, yes, Bakalar is wearing the black Guilty shirt, but there are different SKUs and colored T-shirts with similar design, the same design. So if you don't want to wear a black tee, you could potentially get on a purple tee, a red tee, or whatever else have you. This is great. I want to put stuff on here. Like let's make like Jenga sets.
Oh, I guess we could. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Jenga. That's what we called it. We can make Jenga.
Jenga?
Yeah.
Jenga juice. All right. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Let's start selling Borgs.
Borgs, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, let's sell some Borgs. Let's also sell Corona Ritas, please.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Man.
Jenga. It's right there. What the hell, guys?
Jenga. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. There was Bakalar. There was another thing that Dan thought of. I'm not going to say it, but we need to film this as soon as possible to use before every stream. Dan, it's the thing. I'm not gonna say too much more about it. But yes, the DreamHack videos.
The pooping thing? Is that?
No, it's not the poop.
Should we just do this in front of a green screen? Is that what you want?
We could probably do that. I just need you guys to shoot it in maybe 120 frames. I don't know if all of you have the capabilities of doing that.
Yeah, we got that.
Phones can do that now.
Phones can do that now. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Folks, the DreamHack videos will be popping up throughout the rest of the week, as well as the other stuff. Dan has a bunch of WrestleMania content. Did we even mention that?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, me talking to some wrestlers. MVP remains the coolest dude that's ever lived. So yeah, that'll be going up sometime this weekish, probably.
Sometime this weekish, probably, yes.
Yeah.
Just thanks to everybody who did actually stop by at DreamHack and say hi or whatever. We didn't promote it at all, so it's we're surprised even when people did start showing up. So just thank you everybody who did come by and say hi. And we might do stuff like this again in the future, and as we do, we definitely will try to make it even more Giant Bomb and give you guys reasons to come out. So, but in the meantime, a lot of fun stuff is going to be on the website from what we did there. So look out for that.
Yes, lots and lots of fun. I will get to the shout-outs later on the last leg of the show. But I got to go take a quick bricky break and relieve myself of a wet bet that may potentially happen. And we'll be back with the news. Magic. I just had a brilliant idea to make a blog about sweatsuits. Really documenting how cozy they all are and talking about the feel of a nice sweatsuit. And then I thought about selling sweatsuits. Thankfully, I can do all of that with SquareSpace. With SquareSpace, I can build the coolest looking website dedicated to sweatsuits and not know anything about building an actual website. SquareSpace has award-winning templates to make sure my site looks as good as I do in a sweatsuit. If I wanted to have a special members-only area with real sweatsuit aficionados, then I could do that as well. Make specific content like reviews, newsletters, or videos that only members can access. And to make sure we keep everyone in the loop, Squarespace can help collect emails and make sure we blast out updates or just say what's up to our homies that also love sweatsuits. Check out squarespace.com/bombcast for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code BOMBCAST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Sweatsuits. Sweatsuits. I want to know if the lemon or citrus fruits are the best apparatus to use for magic tricks.
About like a jar of peanut butter.
You know, that'd actually be very impressive.
A big chunky peanut butter, you just reach in there and get a gloopy $20 bill.
There's something about the sealed fruit, right? And the orange and the lemon both have that strong peel on it that makes the trick feel that much more magical.
Yes, but
that's a good
think
point.
about
It's
how
the seal.
fun it'd be to have, like, a magician pulls out a jar of peanut butter. It's sealed, the top is clean, and then he sticks his hand in and pulls out your $20 bill.
Yeah, it's in like a Costco 6-pack, and you have to like cut the wrapper off first.
Right, and it has it has that like unspoiled top layer peanut butter is what you mean. So when you look at it, you're like, God, no one's ever touched this. That's one of the most satisfying things in the world, to like reach in there the first time with a spoon or a knife to like make your sandwich or whatever. It's like, oh my God, I'm breaking the seal on the top layer. And if you did that and then there was something in there that you had written on just a minute before.
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay. Good point.
I have a question.
Let's go workshop with Nick Ivory. I'm sure he wants feedback.
Please.
Yeah.
I have a question about the lemon.
Okay.
I'm still stuck on the lemon.
Yeah, who isn't?
This was a shoot lemon.
A shoot lemon?
Yeah.
Yes, because we Dan smelled the money afterwards and it had wet with lemon juice. Yeah, and like
Right. I don't doubt my friends that the money was inside the lemon. It very clearly was.
We were right. He showed us the lemon. It was a real lemon. Yes.
Where did he get the lemon?
He had it in like one of his
pocket
his
or something.
Was
it a Crown Royal bag? He had Crown Royal
bags. Yes, he had 2 Crown Royal bags that had all his gimmicks in it.
It is my suspicion that the lemon was prepared.
Oh, I mean,
quite possibly.
Yeah, but
I'm not trying to make Mr. Ivory a piece of shit, because look, we all used to be pieces of shit.
Some of us still are.
Some of us still are.
But it was the money was written on, so it's like it was still Dan's $20 bill.
Yeah.
So how much preparation could he have done?
We'll
lay out
cut
a
a very
challenge
thin slit in the lemon.
The Magicians of America, I have a challenge for you. Okay, so we got the lemon, which, you could kind of gimmick a little bit. You got the peanut butter idea we came up with, and that'd be hard, but you know what would be truly impressive? Bring out a fucking egg, throw it on the table, it breaks.
I feel like I've seen that.
Really?
Not in person, but like
Someone's
a
done
video.
that?
I really enjoy, I hate calling it magic too. Could we just refer to it as like illusionists or something?
Magic's more fun. Don't be a spoil sport.
I think they call themselves I think what they say, we're doing illusions, because I know that like what's the one that talks and the guy that talks too much, Penn and Teller. They're like, we make it very clear that even if a child asks, is magic real? We say no. Because
if you ask Nick Ivory,
we can't do that. Yeah,
I doubt that any magician. It's got to be like wrestling, where it's like nobody's actually acting like it's a real fight anymore.
Right. Of course,
I'm sure magicians are
one,
like, we're not magic in the like cosmic sense,
unless it's the prestige. Yeah,
sure.
Fine.
Yeah.
I just want to be
like cloning.
A cool shit guy, because I just want to do cool shit.
Yeah, you just want to have cool shit at your disposal, rather, within arm's reach at all times. I get it. I get it.
See, I want Dan and I and Grubb and Bakalar, if you want to join the magician troupe as well, to become so good at magic, and we start like doing stuff that is against the rules ever so slightly. Like, we don't use lemons, we use pomelos.
So we're gonna be like when the Young Bucks kind of like turned a super kick into a transitional move, and all the old timers were like, "No, that's a finish, brother."
Exactly. I want us to have.
We're gonna kill the business.
Yes, exactly.
Let's kill the business.
Okay.
What is the equivalent of like a Meltzer driver? It's like Dan cuts someone in half, and then I pull ribbons out of them for 5 minutes or something.
Okay,
you
sounds
just
good.
leave them
Streamers.
uncut and never put them back together. Like that is
You
that
just
would
kill a guy. Yeah. I think if it's magic, it's legal.
Yeah.
It's performance. It's First Amendment. It's
There's a clause.
Right. It's like the smoking restaurant in
you can
Nathan
do
for
literally
You.
anything. Yes.
Yes. Nothing but smoke and mirrors. Jeff Grubb, let's get to the news.
Let's do it.
These are the news.
Welcome. I have news for y'all. It's I tried my best to like keep my eye on some of the news that was happening while we were traveling. But it turns out most of the interesting stuff happened in the past couple days. Let's start here. Super Mario Brothers movie had a record-breaking weekend. It made $377 million worldwide in its first 5 days. That sounds like a lot of money because it is. It's the highest grossing animated film through 5 days ever, putting it above Frozen 2. Which is, if you know anything about animated movies, Frozen 2 was very anticipated, a massive success.
Big deal, yeah.
Big deal. This is even bigger. The reasoning is, well, yeah, kids are definitely excited. They're seeing it. It's sold more tickets among 18 to 34-year-olds, though.
Exactly.
So
That
it's
makes
just
sense.
It is globally appealing, and then it appeals across age groups, and it's attracting all kinds of audiences to theaters. So it's doing very well. It made $204 million in domestically for the domestic box office. That puts it behind only The Incredibles 2 and ahead of Finding Dory. So it's number 2 for the U.S. animated box office. Throughout its entire run so far of 5 days, throughout its entire run, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie made $306.8 million. Again, 377 million, already way more than that. And then the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 made 405.4 million total. This is going to make more than that by this weekend.
That's right. Sonic's dead. You heard it here first.
That's what we're trying to say. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, hey, real quick. What was the last movie Mickey Mouse was the star of?
Okay. All right.
No, genuine question here.
Fantasia.
Okay, what did Fantasia gross in its first 5 days?
Nobody cares.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, that's telling in itself.
Yeah, this has definitely made more money than any Mickey Mouse movie. Yes, if that's what you want to say.
So wait, is that just objectively? Am I right then? I guess
You're just trying to go after one single. This is a joke for one person.
No, he's already in the chat. No, it's not for one person. It's just for society. For me to be the first person to realize that Mario is more famous and popular than Mickey Mouse.
I will say that this movie is definitely evidence to Dan's favor, right?
Yes,
I mean,
thank you very much.
It's also 2023, okay?
Yeah,
Okay, well, when was the last time fucking Mickey Mouse was in a movie? That's telling too. All right? That serves my point too.
I'm not defending Mickey Mouse. I'm just saying, like, I don't even think it's an argument worth having.
Isn't that telling, though? If Mickey Mouse was the most famous, popular thing in the world, wouldn't he be in some fucking movies in the last 70 years?
I mean, look, Mickey Mouse,
he's written some books. He's going on like a book tour,
He's had like Playhouse things. He's got his own like cable network or something. I don't know.
He's involved with stuff, but I mean, I think the evidence is very clear.
He's like that Jay-Z lyric. He's not a businessman. He's a businessman.
Exactly.
Business
he's
mouse.
like Tony the Tiger from Frosted Flakes. You don't see him in movies, but everyone kind of knows who he is.
Look, I think the biggest star is the one who makes the most at the box office, and I think it's pretty clear by the numbers in the last 5 days. So thank you. I was right. I'll show myself out.
It is very cool
a lot of money
to see an animated movie, let alone a video game movie, gross this much.
It's very cool to see Mr. Mario have this much money now.
Yes.
It's also clear that all these other companies, all these other production companies are going to be even more so than they already were because of Sonic, looking at video games very seriously to make a lot of money going forward.
It is also equally as insane that it took nearly 40 fucking years for someone to like do a Mario movie in a way that like wasn't some, acid trip live action adaptation, which I still think kind of rips.
I love that.
But it's not just
Like
Mario,
movies.
it's video game movies. They've all sucked,
Yes.
to varying degrees.
No, I mean, I don't think in the last 10 years that's rings as true as it used to.
I don't know if I've seen a good one.
I mean, Bakalar, you love Rampage. That's like your favorite movie.
Obviously. But yeah, like I just think it's amazing that like no one did an animated Mario movie in 40 years. I just think that's like the craziest thing. Like, come on, what was the holdup? I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see it.
We'll see. I mean, clearly, this is going to mean that the Illumination Nintendo partnership is going to continue.
Yeah.
They tease a sequel at the end of this movie. We'll do. Of course, we're going to get the sequel to this movie, but this also means that they probably fast track every other property that Nintendo has. I think
we see Zelda.
I think we probably do see Zelda, but I mean, a Zelda movie from Illumination just doesn't sound like a good
Illumination, like a wacky kids character. I can't really see that.
Right.
No.
Man,
Maybe a Tingle movie.
Well, that
Tingle movie would be good. Star Fox. I bet you could do Star Fox.
Yeah.
Do kids like Star Fox?
I think
Jeff,
Star Fox.
Yell at your kids behind you. Do they know who Star Fox?
Hey, do you know who Star Fox is?
No.
That's a negative.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
3 podcast points for the kid.
All right, maybe there's not going to be a Star Fox movie.
Oh, she got very excited about the podcast points.
That was so awesome. The belligerent no.
We're watching cartoons.
If I eventually meet Grubb's children, I'm just going to give them all the podcast points as gold coins that they've accumulated.
Wait, let me make sure they're not just being negative. Ask them if they know who Mario is.
Do you know who Mario is? No. Oh, now you're just being funny.
No.
Are they kayfabing? Ask them if they're
Do you
kayfabing.
know who Kirby is? Kirby's the cutest?
Yeah, they're not wrong.
Oh, Kirby's cutest and Mario's the terrible one. Okay.
Oh my God, they're kayfabing.
Time's been tough on.
I got the Mario stuff. So Amy really likes Kirby, and I brought home a bunch of Mario stuff from the Super Nintendo world. And Amy was like, "Thank you," but then when I told her there was no Kirby stuff there, she literally teared up. She literally had a hard time with it. Yeah.
Oh no.
I gotta tell you a story real quick.
Yeah.
I was away for a wedding, in a destination wedding. So it was like all New Jersey, New York people flying away to a beach somewhere. And we were talking about the Mario movie. And I had a moment that I wish I captured on video, because there was like 12 people all talking the way I talk. And it was Mario. Like it was amazing. It was just
they weren't mocking you. They were actually
because that's how we all say Mario.
Wow,
it's not a bit.
It's a regional thing, and you're wrong in this case.
Not yelling at you. I'm yelling at all the psychos who like think I'm actually doing a bit, and they're like, "Yes, I'm doing this to get under your stupid skin."
No,
right?
you're
like,
not. This isn't a you thing. This is a regional thing. This is a Jersey thing.
Is.
But like, it's so amazing that it happened organically. I fumbled with my phone. I couldn't get it out in time to start recording the conversation, but it was so organic. And I was just like, it seemed cool. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, we're all doing, this is good. We should, and then
I got to show the internet this. Start over.
Like everyone, like husbands, wives, everyone was saying it. Like no one was arguing with it. Everyone agreed it was normal, and it felt so good. Just for a second.
I know it's real, because like in Ghostbusters, what's her name says it? Janine. She's like, "You want to play Super Mario Brothers?" And it's like, oh yeah. Clearly she's doing an accent, but like that's an accent that has an actual real world place attached to it. So
it's true. All I got is Russ Frushtick in my corner in the biz.
I'm so sorry.
Where's he from?
Enough.
Where's he
Honestly,
from?
that hurts you.
Yeah.
Where's Russ from?
He's from New York. Yeah.
He is very from New York. Yes.
All right,
Jan?
Folks, don't be alarmed.
Jan.
My camera, I don't know. I think it died.
Okay. All right. You know what? You're still there. We'll go ahead. We'll keep going with the news.
I'm practicing magic. Sorry.
Chris Pratt originally played Mario like Tony Soprano. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Pratt and Charlie Day revealed that their first attempts at the Mario and Luigi voices got rejected by the film directors. We tried different things, different voices, Day says. Every now and then they would say, "Charlie, maybe a little less Goodfellas in this one." I'm like, all right, I think you're wrong, but fine, until they landed on something they liked. And then Chris Pratt said, for a minute, I walked in and they were like, "That's a little New Jersey. You're doing a Tony Soprano thing," Pratt says of his early feedback. And I got to ask you guys, I mean, that would have been better. I would love if Mario sounded like Tony Soprano. That would be incredible.
I started Sopranos on that trip on the flight. I'm 4 episodes in. Turns out the Sopranos might be a good television show.
Turns out, yes.
Yeah, might be. I'm finally watching Sopranos and Seinfeld for the first time in 2023.
We can't even unpack that. We can't even unpack it.
I think those are literally the two best shows. Like,
they're both very good.
They're my two favorite. Yes. Sopranos just up there above everything else.
I'm just bewildered. I can't even move. But I'll also say that I have not seen the Mario movie yet, but I am getting a little drips and drabs of people being like, "Oh, you know what? Like, turns out the voice is actually terrible." And
no, it's
Bakalar,
fine.
you were 100% right with your fear.
The Pratt voice?
Yes.
No, it's. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the best thing ever, but it's like it did not bother me at all.
Yeah,
it didn't bother me. I didn't even know.
You would prefer a soprano version.
I think it's flavorless. Like, I think what Pratt ends up doing is try to like blend in with the rest of the movie, like on a frequency level, so that like you don't even notice it. And I think that's actually a fine choice, because there's so many other good and great performances. Just let Jack Black do his thing.
Got it. Yeah, I'm very interested to see it. I will be viewing it with my son on Saturday. That'll be very exciting for me and also him. So I'll have a half-ass review on Tuesday.
Please record your impressions alongside the spoiler cast that is already out.
Yeah, react to our reaction. Yeah.
Green screen yourself onto the bed with us.
Yeah.
I'll have that in the corner. Yeah.
Get the Tony Soprano voice. Oh well. Maybe they have a cut out there of some deleted scenes we could see. I would like to see like a featurette where they try to finding Mario's voice.
I would love to see Chris Pratt, or hear rather Chris Pratt's Tony Soprano. That would be okay.
Probably not very good, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's a hunch.
Yeah.
Nintendo is planning a fan event for later this year in the United States. Nintendo Live 2023 is coming to Seattle in September. This is close to something like a mini theme park or carnival, where it's a bunch of attractions that they're popping up in Seattle, and then a bunch of people come to it. Here's how they describe it: an all ages celebration of Nintendo fun. Share the excitement of playing games together, enjoying live stage performances, and more across a large-scale themed area. Whether you and your family are new to the games, characters, and worlds of Nintendo, or are lifelong fans, everyone's welcome to have fun. They've done things like this in Japan before. This is the first time they're doing it in the United States. I think this sounds pretty cool. I think they've only said September, which is when PAX West is happening. But I don't know if they're going to overlap. If they do, I would really like to maybe go to both. But
it'd be smart for them to do that then.
I think it would make a ton of sense for them to. And then, like, maybe it's all of September. Maybe it's like, instead of doing their, like, I don't know, Dan, have you in the past have had the Nintendo bus like come to your town? They're like, hey, do you want to come out and see our games on the bus?
Covered that, yeah. Game Informer that'd come out to Minnesota and like just park in a hotel parking lot and be like, "Oh, come play this new Wii game or whatever." So yeah, that works. It's effective.
Yeah, I think this is like a good way of like doing that instead of just like doing the bus, instead of just have everyone come to this one thing. And I think this is pretty cool. I think Nintendo's also probably feeling like, hey, we've got to really double down on our marketing now that we do have this movie appealing to audiences we've normally struggled to maybe reach. Because movies are going to just be like, for people that are like, hey, yeah, I know about games. I played Mario before. They probably saw this movie and now they're thinking, maybe I do want to get back into Mario. And the fan events like this can help facilitate getting those people to convince them to like, yeah, pick up a Switch and pick up Mario with that or whatever.
Can you imagine if you like hadn't played Mario since Mario World, and then this inspires you to get back in, and you have like all the 3D ones in Odyssey,
cool.
And like that would kick ass.
Imagine finding Mario Maker.
Oh
yeah.
God, yeah.
The Switch has got almost all of the Marios now at this point between Nintendo Switch Online.
Well, let's run it down. Mainline series. Let's do the mainline series here.
No,
okay.
Please don't, Dan.
No, let's do it. No, I'm legit curious.
Okay,
legit curious. Hang on, just let me work through this.
Go ahead.
Let me work through this. All right. Does the Switch have 1, 2, and 3 and Lost Levels? Yes. It's all on Nintendo Online. Mario World and Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Yes, those are both on there. Mario 64, the 3D All-Stars has Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. Yes. Oh. Galaxy 2, it does not have. Galaxy 2 is the one that I think it doesn't have. And then mainline series, we go straight to Odyssey from there. And so, yeah, the only one they're missing
Super
is
Mario
Galaxy 2.
3D World,
that's in the 3D series. It has that too. It has that too. It doesn't have 3D land. So it has half of the 3D series. But all but one of the mainline series. So cool.
3D World is the mainline.
Yes, cool. Yes, cool.
It's just as good. It's just as good, if not better, than many mainline games. It is just in a different series.
What's your problem, man? Like, why do
he is a problem. He just is not. He doesn't have one. He just is it.
Why are you a baby?
I'm a Mario historian. I'm a Mario Guinness World Record holder. I've asked Miyamoto about this. Yeah. All right. How am I not right?
He did not say that Super Mario 3D World is not a mainline Mario.
He said Yoshi's Island was, so there we go.
Okay, but that doesn't prove that the other thing is true. What do you mean?
The 3D thing? I'll ask him next time I see him. I'll see if he comes to the poker game.
Okay.
Oh, let me in on that.
Mitch in chat says, I actually mean this when I say this, and I know the gravity of it, but Dan thinking 3D World isn't a core Mario game is literally the craziest thing he's ever said.
No one even gets what I'm saying here. This is like the B game thing. They just don't understand what I'm saying.
No, we're not.
I'm not saying it's lesser than. It's not lesser than. Scored out of 10, I would give it a higher score than a lot of. Well, hang on. What is 3D World better than? It's better than 1. It's better than.
We have to.
Is it better? It might be better than
What's
Sunshine. I hate to
next
say it.
story with Jeff Keighley got here?
What's that?
the thing with you, Dan, is that like you can't even put items in like separate categories of insanity. You just have to put it in like the general Dan like idiotic bucket that it just sort of is.
But
like,
I know I'm an idiot about fucking eggs or whatever,
No,
but I'm a video gaming expert. I'm a
specifically about
professional
this.
in video games, and what I say carries weight in that field, especially as a Mario historian and world record holder. I think I'm a authority on the subject, so I am correct. Next news story.
Good job. Let's move on. Good job, Dan. You won.
Jeff's around. The other Jeff.
Thank you.
Cool.
Jeff Keighley confirms Gamescom's opening night live 2023. It's going to be happening in August 22nd. He's done these for the last several years. Like always, it will feature a handful of new game announcements and updates on previously revealed projects. I guess in general for the story, I was wondering, how are you guys feeling about the Jeff events of late? I think that one where he had the Elden Ring trailer was very good, and then I think since then, and this, I think he's even said this, there haven't been a ton of games. Thank you, Amy. She brought me my McDonald's. There haven't been like a ton of like big games to even put into those events. So like I think he's kind of struggled to maybe make them make sense. And now he's got basically one a quarter between Summer Game Fest, the Game Awards, Gamescom opening night live. Maybe there's another one I'm forgetting, but
He's becoming the monster.
He's making the towns. He's on the loop.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing.
It's a lot of hours to fill out with maybe not enough announcements.
It is, and like I mean, if we're just speaking from a place of like genuine kind of hopefully helpful criticism, right? Like if we're talking about the Game Awards, like I thought the Game Awards was mostly kind of tough. I think for me, maybe also being there was like very. Well, it's past my bedtime, but also
sure, you were probably extra cranky.
It went on for a very long time, and it was not about awards. I almost feel like I get it. I know you have to pay for the thing. I don't want to get into that whole loop of arguing. I just think for me, it just it's not sticking the landing. Whatever it's trying to be, I think it has a bit of an identity crisis. I think it's a bit all over the place.
Honestly,
that's
the only
Scoop says Christopher Judge is still talking.
I was going to say the only award I remember off the top of my head is that Christopher Judge won Best Male Voice Actor or just Voice Actor.
I think it's just best
voice actor.
Yeah, like
I can't even remember.
But like that just demonstrates the sort of like imbalance that show kind of suffered from, right? Like that took 40 minutes, I want to say, and then. They just rammed through like all these awards. There was a lot of like emptiness to it that I think came off disingenuous, obviously in a way that Keighley probably doesn't want to come off, but it's just the nature of like the thing that this is, right?
It's a multi-company press conference, that's what it is.
Totally.
It's reveals
under the guise of an award show. Like,
yeah, but I mean, also award shows are kind of horseshit anyway. So, it's like,
I'm not saying like we need to bring back the sanctity of an award show.
Right.
I'm just saying like, let's just not call it an award show. Maybe.
I mean, it at least kind of treats games with respect and stuff too, versus like the old like Spike TV ones where it's just like, here's a bunch of really lame fucking comedy bits and celebrities who don't give a shit about the games coming out to fucking promote a shitty movie or something like that. At least there is an obvious like reverence for games in the industry there.
That's true.
Like I will take that over the shit that used to be on Spike TV. It is much better. I'm not gonna act like it's this huge award show important thing or anything.
It's
for sure.
I've had entertaining times watching the Game Awards from the comfort of my home for the last several years. I actually when I went to that first one in Las Vegas, I was like, this is whatever. But since watching them at home, I'm like, I'm actually having a good time, like talking over them with my friends. That's always fun.
Yeah, that's the best way to consume it for sure.
And I'm grateful that Keighley is still doing Summer Game Fest and giving people a reason to come to town because I want to do that. And so thanks to him for continuing to do that. Even if it's like not going to be the same thing at all, it can serve enough of the same purposes that I'm pretty thankful that he still has that thing existing. So shout outs to Jeff. Yeah. All right, Persona 3 remake and new Jet Set radio footage leaked online. Did you guys see this over the weekend? This is while we're traveling. So
the new Jet Set radio?
Yes. So we knew that was kind of in the works because Sega had been promising these super games. And we found out later, like, oh, what's a super game? He's like, well, we're going to do Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio. I'm like, okay, what makes them super games? Whatever. None of that was ever really explained. But one of them was Jet Set Radio. Well, now we know that these things are basically in the works and real. Thank you so much, Addy. Good job. They're just
Get him a couple hot dogs.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah. Oh, there she runs off. So we had heard rumors of a Persona 3 remake. That one always felt like weird, but I guess why not?
I feel like that had to happen, right?
So yeah, and as I talked to more fans, that was the sentiment. Oh, that should happen actually. Well, we've seen footage of it now in this leaked video, and there's a tweet here if you guys do want to just check it out yourself. But basically, it is a couple of seconds of what definitely looks like a Persona 3 remake with a text in the top right that says "Now in development." And then it goes to a scene of Sonic Frontiers, which I think dates this to about 2021 or 2022. And then at the very end, it is completely new Jet Set Radio footage of a new game with a character that looks like the Jet Set Radio dude in rollerblades, with other people around behind him. But it's cel shaded, but looks really modern. And that also says "Now in development."
Cool.
And since this footage has come out, people have been able to verify this is real. It comes from some internal Sega survey where they were talking about the stuff that they're working on. And this does seem to be like things that they will probably be announcing here pretty soon. Persona 3 Remake, I think, is a no-brainer, actually, from talking to that audience. Seems like something a lot of people want.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I want that. I want to know what the kids are talking about with Persona 3.
Yep.
I also want like a more streamlined way of playing it.
Exactly. I think that's the idea, is like modernizing a lot of the elements of it to Persona 5 levels, where I think a lot of people love Persona 3, but as they talk about it now, they're like, we want like to be able to control all the characters and things like that, and combine all the elements between Persona 3, was that Golden? Persona 3 Fez. Between Persona 3 Fez and Persona 3 Portable, just bring all the best elements together under one roof with the best visuals possible, and that franchise. And it takes them so long to make Persona like new mainline entries, that why not go back and start remaking some of these previous
do the
ones?
Resident Evil model, it worked out for them.
Yeah, and I think they probably do Persona 3 first because that's an easier one to upgrade, but I think they probably do get around eventually to doing Persona 1 and 2 in this same style, but that would take a lot more effort because those games are
the more
much
we say
older.
Persona, Michael Heim is like rushing over somewhere.
I know.
So be careful,
I'm
guys.
trying to see if I'm going to summon him or something. And then Jet Set Radio has always been a cool looking thing.
Hell yeah.
Maybe it's not been as perfectly executed as it always has looked. And it's like, well, I think that they can now really match up the gameplay with those visuals and do something cool with that. Are you guys any of you Jet Set fans?
Hell yeah,
Grubb,
I'm a huge fan of that series.
I'm right there with you, Grubb, in that like I always loved the look of it, and even the idea of it, where it's like the idea of like that look, but like I always wanted it to feel, I guess, a little more Tony Hawk-y and smooth.
Same.
And every time I picked it up and tried it, even back then or nowadays, I'm always like, this doesn't feel quite as smooth as I want it to. Like there is something there that like if it felt smoother, it could be incredible, and like that's why I would be very excited to play a new one.
That's exactly where I'm at. So hopefully that's exactly what this game is. Either way, the footage looks very compelling for both of these things. And Sega's been figuring stuff out slowly but surely, and it feels like these games are along those same lines of them putting the pieces together, figuring out like what could be next for them. So in Jet Set Radio, super game, it does look like they're investing real money in it. So
what genre of music would you say the music in Jet Set is?
Dreamcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 2000s video game. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Well, early parts of the pandemic, kids got really into rollerblading and roller skating again. That kind of Eurobeat Dreamcasty music is big with the kids right now. So it's only a matter of time. This is going to inspire the kids to get into graffiti. I'm so down with it.
I think the kids are into graffiti,
but like in a big way, and like how it was in like maybe like 10 years ago.
Okay, I'm into it.
I just want sticker slaps everywhere, please.
Sticker slaps.
Yes.
They should add that to the game. That'd be sick.
All right, let's move ahead here. Joseph Staten is leaving Xbox. Halo Infinite creative boss Joseph Staten is leaving the company. He had previously left 343 and Halo, but now he's confirmed he's actually left Microsoft proper. Hey, folks, I am indeed leaving Microsoft. I'll have more info to share soon, but for now, I'd just like to thank all my Xbox colleagues for all their understanding and support as I embark on a new adventure. This comes at a time when Halo is in this weird phase of what is it? What could possibly be next? What we know is next is that 343 it has confirmed as much that they are definitely going to keep investing in the multiplayer side of Halo Infinite. They are not so much interested in investing in expanding the single player campaign. If there was ever going to be like more modules or DLC things added to expand that, that's definitely not in the works now. All the money is going towards making the multiplayer better and bringing in external teams to work on more multiplayer stuff. We already know that they have certain affinity working on what is widely believed to be a battle royale mode, and it's codenamed Tatanka for Halo. But that's going to be a separate thing because it's made in Unreal. Yeah, what's that?
I love Tatanka.
They're bringing Tatanka back?
They're bringing back Tatanka. Yes,
Sick.
I'll have to try it out then.
So we'll see. We'll see what this actually looks like. But and as for like Staten, he was the guy brought back to make sure Halo Infinite would actually come out and be he was the closer. And I mean, who knows what it would have been like without him? But with him, we know what happened. That game was mostly well received at very first, and then there was nothing in terms of ongoing support for that game to keep people feeling happy about it. And people ended up feeling very miserable about Halo a year later.
Wow.
Although recently people have been pretty happy with the recent updates. So at least on the multiplayer side. Yeah. I'm like, I want to check back in on it myself. We'll see. Microsoft disabled emulators on retail Xbox Series X and S systems. One of the coolest unofficial things you could do with an Xbox Series X and S is turn them into these really great emulation systems. This was always possible in dev mode, which is something you can activate paying a small fee. I think it's like $20, and you can turn any Xbox Series X or S into a dev mode Xbox, which you can use as a dev kit. And then in that sandbox dev mode, you can install anything you want on there. But people found a way to do this, to install emulators on retail systems by basically creating these links that would whitelist you for these private listings on the Microsoft Store for these UWP apps, and you could get on that whitelist and then download these games from the from the Microsoft Store onto your retail system, and then you can run any emulator at that point without any issue. Except for now, Microsoft has disabled this, and it's clear that they are basically just saying this violates our terms of service for a retail system, so we're not going to let this work anymore. It's kind of a bummer, but it seemed like something that was always going to happen, that they were going to pull the plug on this and stop people from doing it. They had already previously pulled many emulators off of the Microsoft Store as like live projects you could just download for free wherever, but now they've done it to these secret downloads as well. It's a bummer, but if you really want to do this, you can just turn your system into a dev mode thing. Would you guys have any interest of like turning your Xbox into an emulation system? Because I always thought about it. Like I got a PC, I got a million other ways to do this. So I'm not going to.
There's so many other ways, right? Like,
yeah, that's where I'm at. Like I considered it just like the novelty. Like Grubb, I know you and I both have the sickness of like getting a million devices and just loading it up with every possible thing you can. But it's like I think I'd rather do it on weird little devices like you had on that trip, that tiny little keychain thing, or a Steam Deck, or Mister and things like that, versus like I don't need to have like my modern console play old games. I got fun ways to do that.
Otherwise. Yeah, I think there's a novelty of having all those old games available in a handheld format.
Yes, I like that a lot. Exactly. I'm the same way. And then if I'm doing it on my TV, I kind of want just one good system, and that's usually going to be my PC because I have the most control there, and it's the easiest to add stuff and edit things. So I just use my PC. But for a lot of people, having the convenience of the consoles and having that translate to emulators, it makes a lot of sense for them. And the Xbox Series X and even the S, very good at emulating everything up to GameCube. And in some cases, like they were doing PS3 and things like that. So it's like these are powerful systems that could do a lot, and people were getting a lot out of them. So it is a little bit of a bummer, but if it's something people truly care about, they could still go do it through dev mode. Xbox has made yet another 10-year deal for Activision / Call of Duty games. This time they've partnered with EE to expand its stable of streaming platforms for future Call of Duty games. EE is a British mobile network and ISP, and apparently they also stream games through the cloud. And now they're going to be able to do that with Call of Duty once the deal, or if the deal closes with Microsoft. This comes after they've made similar deals with Nintendo, Boosteroid, which is a Ukrainian cloud streaming service, and Nvidia, which has its like global live streaming cloud gaming service or whatever. This is just their latest effort to win over regulators, but this one's very targeted at the UK, which is one of the places that is still hung up on the cloud gaming side of the argument for, this is going to reduce competition in this one specific market. Microsoft continues to try to be very vigilant about proving those arguments wrong, and this is part of that. not a lot of movement on this case in the last couple of in the last week or so. We did have a lot of movement where it's like, oh, we're sort of over the console argument. We're not, even the UK is like, we don't buy the PlayStation argument anymore. The cloud gaming one still seems to be a hang up, but not enough. Doesn't seem like it's going to be enough to actually cause any real issues for Microsoft. This deal's coming to an end here pretty soon. Are you guys happy to hear that? Because I sure am. I'm ready for this to be over.
Yeah, I mean, it's eventually gonna close, and I think the part that I'm happy about is us not having to talk about it anymore.
Yep.
Absolutely. It's just like, I mean, I don't know. I guess my question for you, Grubb, is like, based off this, right, where like it seemed like there was a entity that was trying to like make an example of this situation to possibly deter a similar kind of like acquisition in the future. Like, do you think any message was received? Like, do you think anyone thinks twice about the sort of repercussions that Microsoft faced through all this? I
do, yes, actually, because it's this is a pretty annoying thing to have to go through, and if it's we've seen this strategy work with other things. NVIDIA did abandon its acquisition of ARM because they saw this happening to them, and like, you know what? There's other ways we could do something similar and get to the similar end, and that has to do with like open source, like ARM or RISC-V technology, which doesn't, that's in the weeds. But basically, they had another option, so it was very easy for them to like say, never mind, to pivot. Microsoft is like, oh, $69 billion, and if the deal doesn't go through, we have to pay all this other like penalty money, and yet we want to go through this because we really still think in the end this is going to be worth it. But they had to like really soul search to get to that point. And I think a lot of that soul searching for other companies making other similar big acquisitions will happen beforehand and will be a slight sort of detriment to these sorts of deals happening going forward. Now, these sorts of deals are still worth a lot and are one good way to grow your business in a time when it's pretty hard to grow your business through other more organic means. So a lot of companies are still going to try to make this happen, and they're going to be emboldened that Microsoft got through it if that ends up happening. But I think overall, this sort of painful process is a little bit of a deterrent going forward.
Sure. Yes. And you just gotta imagine what the final like sunk cost into this entire acquisition.
It will be massive,
right?
Yes,
insane.
Yep. I mean, like if you are a company that does not have the number of lawyers that Microsoft has, there's no guarantee it works out the same way for you. Just not at all. All right. Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered is launching on consoles, finally, on April 19th. The games are already on PC and mobile, of course, but now you will be able to get them on PS4 and Nintendo Switch, and they will feature a new pixel font that doesn't look like complete dog shit. So that's a good thing. This will be new here. Still no word on if the PC version is going to get that pixel font. But hey, if you get it for the PS4 or Switch, you will have that as an option. You guys, Final Fantasy guys, you guys going to check in on this at all?
I feel like I should eventually get through these and do my due diligence.
Yeah,
I just like my JRPG, or I just like my role-playing games to have like anime teens. You know, that's more of my flavor and style.
Sure.
Not enough zippers in the old Final Fantasies.
I understand that. I like any game where you fight against a guy and then that guy joins your team. And Final Fantasy VI has that with the ninja guy. And so that's like always been like, oh yeah, I definitely like that one. Although after that point, I quit a few hours later because I'm like, I already got the cool thing I like where the bad guy joins your team. I think I'll check out on 6 again. I know a lot of people like 4 and 5, like the job systems in there. People always talk up. I can never remember which one's which. But for the most part, I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
We're being impressed by 4 when my first time playing a lot of those was when they would come out on DS with the remakes.
Yes.
And they had like the different art style and everything.
Yeah.
And I liked 4 a lot. I thought that was pretty good. I've never played 5. I know 6. I know it's the super famous one, 3 in the States, but I've tried to start it several times and it's real talky.
It's the clown one, right?
Probably.
It's the one where you suplex a train.
Oh,
which is a very, very cool thing to do in a video game. Let's see. Oh, that game, not on Xbox. Xbox fans are kind of getting pretty mad at Square Enix for not bringing many of their RPGs to that platform. There was some speculation over the weekend that people are like, oh, it's because of Sony's close deal with Square Enix. And other people are saying, no, it's just not worth the investment to Square Enix because they think that they're not going to sell as many games on the Xbox. I think it's probably a little bit of both. I do know that Sony gets pretty like they get pretty serious about their deals and about how anything that might get in the way of the purity of those deals can kind of rub them the wrong way. And I think Square Enix sees a lot of money coming out of PlayStation for the next several years, and they don't want to mess with that.
It's like when you like thirst traps on Instagram, you know? It's like, why are you even looking? Does this, what's going on here type of deal?
It's exactly like that. Thank you, Jen.
Yep.
Finally, Sony is ending live support for Dreams.
Sony's killing Dreams.
Sony has killed Dreams. The Dreams are dead because of Sony. Dreams will no longer get new updates after September. Here's how they explained it. As we continue to evaluate and evolve our priorities for the studio and Dreams, and that's Media Molecule is who wrote this. We've made the difficult decision to discontinue live support for Dreams after the 1st of September 2023 to shift our focus to an exciting new project. You'll continue to be able to play, create, and share Dreams with others after September, but we won't be releasing any more updates to the game or events such as Dreamscom, All Hallows Dreams, or the Impy Awards. We're incredibly proud of the work we've done in developing Dreams, such as our content releases, create updates, and live events. And we are essentially endlessly grateful to the community for their belief and continuous contributions since launch. Updates are coming between now and September when this is happening. They said they're going to update the animation system and they're going to have major content updates. But after September, that's going to come to an end, and then you're going to be able to kind of play the game in a dormant state after that. But you'll be able to share things still, which is the core of Dreams. Yeah. So if that you've been in that scene doesn't necessarily have to come to an end in September.
It's always so cool, the stuff people could make. I just never was able to get my hands on the tools or actually make anything worthwhile with them.
Yeah, I kind of always thought like, okay, I can't wait for Dreams to come to PC. Sony's putting all their games on PC. Oh. I'll just play it when it does that, because that'll be the best place to make stuff. And instead, it seems like they're like, that's not worth the investment. It's kind of a bummer they never got to that point. But also, this makes sense. No one was talking about Dreams. It was not.
I know.
It was not even like a Super Mario Maker in terms of popularity. And even Nintendo stopped supporting Super Mario Maker with updates. Super Mario Maker 2 got like 1 year of stuff, and then that's all over.
It's interesting that a lot of game devs, game publishers are kind of moving towards the Roblox formula, which could have existed in Dreams, right?
Right. Yeah. But it's like Dreams maybe is a bit too high-minded, where like if you think about the Roblox model, it's like just let some children throw a bunch of crap together and throw it at the wall, and then let's monetize those kids. And that was never what Dreams was. So yeah. All right, but yeah, that does it for the news. So sorry that the Dreams are dead. That had to happen eventually. But Jan, I'm handing this show back over to you, bud.
I'm gonna take this show and still a little damp, still a little wet. So we're gonna go put it out in the sun. It's gonna dry off a little bit. It's gonna stop being so pruny, and then we'll be back with the emails right after this break. Right. These are the emails for the show. Emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com. Last segment of the show. Well, second to last segment of the show. Okay.
Whoa.
What the fuck?
Grubb.
Did I break something?
Wrong day. God, wrong day.
What did he do? No.
It's not Game S Mornings.
Sorry, I got so horny for Game S Mornings. It just happened by itself. Sorry.
Sony killed Dreams. Stop dreaming.
That was weird. I don't even know how that happened.
You put your glasses on and it happened.
I thought that's what you were. It was a cool thing you were doing.
Clark Kented into Game S Mornings.
Is it a hotkey? All right.
Yeah, it must be.
Well, I was gonna say that we should set up a hotkey, and I think maybe one week let's try like audience reactions of like a laugh track or anything, a la a Friday Night Forkin'.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want it randomized though, because I want it just like okay.
Okay.
Dan's basically a human randomizer, so
yeah.
Wow, that is the nicest thing.
I mean, speaking of nice things, Dan, I really like your shirt.
Oh my! It's a nice shirt. It's a nice shirt.
It's a good style. I like it. Yeah, it looks so.
Very
soft.
I like
it.
It's knitted.
Yeah, it looks like you stole it from the set of Freaks and Geeks.
Dan, this style of shirts, it's hot with the children right now. The kids. The Gen Z, they love this style of shirt right now. It's popping.
I bought that for you because you sure as shit didn't buy it for you.
I bought it. I had to hook up to that shitty hotel Wi-Fi, and I bought it from California. It's good.
Ooh.
Okay.
The state of California, yes.
No, it was a website, and they had new shirts, and I was like, ooh, I like that one.
There we go. Dan, a regular fashionista. Fashionista.
Thank you. It's comfy.
All right, bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. I appreciate every email that gets sent, and I started unsubscribing from a bunch of weird lists that were getting annoying and clogging up the mailbox. First email comes from Aaron from Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Greetings, Bomb Crew. Aaron from Stevens Point, Wisconsin here, going for my second question. Well, the getting is good for Wisconsinites lately. And yes, Jan, it is refreshing to hear Ben from last podcast on the left talk about living here. I was thinking about games, namely indie titles, and it always seems they get the biggest hits from reinventing and combining genres in new ways. Dredge comes out as an instant hit for combining the tone of horror and fishing, offsetting a normally sedate nature with suspense. My challenge for each of you is to combine two or more genres of games to create or predict the next big hit. The further out of left field, the better. Below are examples I came up with: horror hunting game, racing extraction game, haunted house simulator game, and FPS RTS. That's just fun to say.
I mean, I already have this, and I'm like getting chills because of how badly I.
Okay, well, you have to go last. You go last then.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Shit.
All right.
I'll go Picross 3D and Lemmings.
Oh.
Okay.
So you got a big block. You get the Lemmings coming in one side, and they got to get out the other. And you got to figure there's obstacles and things on the way. And if you break this one, some lava is going to pour down and kill the Lemmings. Or if you this hole, they're going to fall down and die. So you got to find a way to rotate and make them fall down and get to the other side.
Oh, so it's like an Escher. It's like an Escher Lemmings kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like remember that Echo Chrome game?
Yes.
Like that, but with Lemmings and Picross. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I want to mash up Katamari Damacy and Burnout.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good.
Ooh,
I like that a lot.
Right.
and then,
Okay, all of a sudden mine's
crashes?
not so cool.
Yeah.
all the damage, the crashes and burnout,
Yeah,
where you see all the little things breaking off.
Yeah.
It's all the shit like, here's a
Yeah.
cow and an ice cream cone and all this shit that you picked up.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm into
I want to
it.
do the planet mining mini game from Mass Effect 2 with golf, and you're just like looking for the right planet to play golf on.
That's
and
cool.
Depending on all these factors, and you go down there and actually have to play around a golf, and it has space physics and stuff. Yeah, or maybe golf in a dating sim. Either one's pretty good.
So you play as the aliens, like interviewing planets for like prime golf real estate? Is that like what you're saying?
Basically, yes. Basically, I mean, not interviewing the planets. Like the planets can't talk back. Or let's not be absurd. This is video games.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
aliens.
No, I get what you're laying down there.
Okay.
Shit. All right. I
Yeah.
think you all have better ideas than my predictable ass.
all right, Bakalar. What is it? Is it hockey and
Well,
golf?
No, I've got two better. It's a typing pinball game.
Okay.
Right. So like typing of the dead, obviously that's how that works. But like typing, but a pinball sort of
So like
thing.
the word is like on the flipper.
Yes, or something like
Becker,
that.
I actually really like this
Honestly,
idea.
That
This is
sounds
really good.
so stressful.
Yeah, I like it a
This is
lot. I
super
like that stress.
stressful. Guess what, Jen? Keyboards are serious business. Typing is stressful. That's what happens. That's real life.
I do think you can do typing and blank, and I would be interested because typing is. I love typing, like Mavis Beacon and stuff, or Mario teaches typing, but then typing the dead is so fucking fun. I played it like a few months ago, and it's still incredible. I think that is a super underused gimmick. Is the typing thing?
My first thought was typing hockey, but then like I don't know, for whatever reason, like pinball made more sense to me in my head. But
It's
you can do
cooler.
it for anything.
Yeah.
Cat says typing battle royale.
Didn't they have something like that?
Yeah, like what is it, monkey type or whatever that.
There probably is like a .io game, like a web game that is
Yeah.
like just a
There's
typing
definitely
battle
something
royale.
out there. Yeah.
All right. Next email. Indie developers out there, feel free to take all those ideas and then write us a check afterwards, please.
Sure.
Next
it's
game
fine.
jam, yeah.
Well, we got PayPal.
Yep. Except all forms of payment. Next email comes from a not worried at all Tampa fan. Sorry, I don't have your actual name. Hey, Jeffs. Since y'all are the only hockey podcast on the internet, I had a question.
Nice. That's awesome.
What do you think the chances of Boston having an epic meltdown in the first round of the playoffs?
Like 90%.
That would
Whoa,
follow.
that's very high.
Okay, not the first round, but I do think that they don't win the cup, and I think they probably get before the finals.
All right. I want to hear what else this person has to say, but yes.
That would follow the tradition of a historic regular season flaming out in round one. Even though it led to 2 cups, I still get nightmares about the 0-4 sweep the Lightning had in 2019. We had even bought the book they put out before the playoffs about their history-making regular season. Signed, a not worried at all Tampa fan.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I was a Red Wings fan in, what was it, 95, 96, when they had 62 wins, went into the playoffs, and the Bruins just beat that. That's why this is the whole thing. They had 63 wins. They'll probably get 64. I think they have one or two games left.
That's a rough back-to-back for you then, back then there, Grubby.
Okay, yeah, because was that the year? Because that was the first round, and then the Devils beat us the next year in a sweep, right?
No, in 95 they swept them. Yeah.
Okay, right. Then so the next year was like the really, really good team, and then they blew it big time. But then we went on a tear after that for a while. Yeah,
you guys, no one's shedding a tear for the history of the Red Wings.
Absolutely
I think, it's interesting because I think Boston is more dominant than any of these teams that they've recently broken the record of, including Tampa. I know they just broke they're gonna break their record for sure because they've got like 2 chump teams left, I think. They're going to do it. They're motivated. It's not just their offense. It's also their goaltending. So I just don't see how so many pieces of this Bruins team falls apart. I would love to see it.
Yeah, because, I would relish it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would love to see it. I think Boston's probably my number 2 team that I love to see lose the most behind the Rangers.
Me too, the Celtics.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's very easy to dislike Boston teams. It just is. Sucks to suck. What can I say? So I don't know. I think Tampa is going to have a tough first round.
Yes,
for sure. I think, but I do think. Look, here's the thing with Boston: if they don't win the cup, it's a disappointment. Right.
Absolutely.
So that's the pressure that's on them, is that it's cup or bust for them. So they don't do it.
I agree with the goaltending thing, though. Their goaltending's better than, Vasilevsky is always really good, but better than a lot of these other teams that had these really great regular seasons. So it's going to be, they're going to have a hard time losing, I think.
Could it happen? I'm going to be at a Red Sox game in less than a month. Are they good?
I don't know.
They're pretty good this season. It's early in the season, but
okay.
Yeah, early season baseball doesn't count because there's like 500 games left.
Yeah, it's insanity. But yeah, I think it could, like, Grubb, like it still could happen. Like the Bruins could definitely get knocked out.
Yes, definitely. At any point, yes,
it would happen to Washington. Right, it happened to the Caps like 3 years in a row or something like that, where they like won the President's Trophy and then they just couldn't muster a first round kind of like effort.
Well, and they're whatever team they're like, who are they playing against in the first round? Most likely, is it Tampa Bay?
I think Tampa and Toronto are playing each other. I think that might be
any one of their goalies could get really, really hot, and then that does it. So, yep, we'll see.
We will see. It'll be fun. I mean, it looks like, Devils could take first place here, so they might wind up doing that. We'll see how it goes, but very nerve-wracking. I'm trying to prepare my son for the first ever playoffs that he will be intimately involved in. I'm like, little man, shit's going to get weird in this house the next few weeks, okay? You're just going to have to, like, take it one night at a time here, buddy. Just get ready.
There we go.
It's the best.
Next email comes from Ken from Queens. Good day, Giant Bomb Gourmands. I have 3 delicious items for you. Please pick the one you'd most like to eat. Wall chicken from Castlevania, garbage can chicken, Streets of Rage, white bread found in an outdoor pot, Nino Kuni. Oh, you lied. This is 4. Cherries found in a haunted maze, Pac-Man.
Those cherries have always looked really good.
Yeah, they're shiny.
I hate cherries though. Don't like the cherry flavor.
Wall chicken.
I think I might
go wall chicken.
I think I might go wall chicken because I feel like you could cook a chicken in a wall.
And if it's in the wall, here's the thing. The floor or the pot or the garbage can, this is all stuff that people are constantly interacting with and touching, and things are just getting thrown in there and they're just rubbing up against all sorts of other shit.
Wall chicken is a miracle of God. Yeah.
It's just in a wall. Maybe it's sealed off, airtight, and staying fresh, not getting raw. Like it's,
I don't know, but it's like what the wall's made out of. Because if it's like the drywall stuff, like that chalky stuff.
I don't want dusty. I'm thinking like Castlevania, like a rocky wall,
Okay.
I'm starting to walk the wall chicken back a little bit, thinking about like just the rotting factor. Like just because it's inside of a wall doesn't mean that chicken's not rotting away.
But if it's like hermetically sealed, what does hermetically mean?
It's like of or dealing with hermits. It means they're sealed off. So yes, that's
So they can't eat your chicken; it'll be whole.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not going to eat my
hermits are very
hermits.
respectful.
An airtight seal.
Yes.
There's nothing gross getting in those walls. People aren't stepping
think
around. There's
that's
no
not
rats.
What walls do?
Well, okay. Well, what if
Walls
we
keep
treat
things from getting through, right?
I mean, yes, but
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think we have to take it at the game at its word.
Right,
We know
right,
what the
right.
chicken looks like when it pops out of the wall.
Right, it looks
and It looks like
delicious.
succulent, delicious
It
chicken.
just came out of the oven.
juicy plated chicken.
Yes. So I think if that's what's happening, I definitely
Then
go
I'm-
with wall chicken.
Yeah, because who wants like pot bread? That just
And it's
seems
on a
fucking
plate, so
plain.
it's not getting gross
That's
when it
true.
lands on the floor. So it's like
Yeah.
it's plated,
Right.
Yeah.
I just
All right,
started
I
wall
think
thinking
we
of
have the definitive answer here.
I started trying to entertain the idea that garbage can chicken could be like the Seinfeld donut, and it's like, oh, it's just on top, it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's above the rim.
yeah.
Yeah.
You want it to work, but you know it can't. you
Yeah,
know?
wall chicken is probably the way to go. Okay, only a baby's handful of more emails. We'll just speed through the rest of these boyos. Next email. Tracksuits. Hi, Bombers. What are your thoughts on tracksuits? I bought one for the first time, and it's been a game changer. Love ya. Michael, sent from my iPhone.
I'm pro.
I am
I bought
more
a
of
couple of them
a...
last year or two.
I mean, they're basically joggers.
I'm
but the
more of a
bottom half, at least.
sweatsuit guy rather than a tracksuit guy.
Yeah,
Tracksuit,
same.
there's like, because I got big ass thighs, there's like that weird like friction thing happens like in between.
Oh, the
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I start feeling more
Right.
self-conscious, so I go with a tracksuit. I also feel I'm more flexible in a sweatsuit, I should say. More flexible with sweatpants versus track pants.
I also feel like if I wear a tracksuit, like there's going to be some assumptions made about like my relation to criminal activity, and people just assume that, or they might think, hey, maybe this is a guy that busts people's heads to get money back or something.
Right.
I don't always want people thinking that about me.
I feel healthier when I'm wearing a tracksuit. I feel like I'm like active, even if I'm not, which I'm not.
You're not clearly sedentary.
No,
but
I put on an Adidas tracksuit and I'm like, I'm basically an athlete now.
I don't think anyone would ever mistake you for an athlete.
I
With
bought the
tracksuit.
Adidas one because it was a pay-per-view and they showed a clip of Roman Reigns getting out of the car with the bloodline walking all cool in the Adidas tracksuit. And I was like, man, that thing looks cool and comfy. And I bought it and I put it on. And I'm like, yeah, I'm basically Roman Reigns.
I think I agree with the bad small talker chat. I don't like the feel of the fabric in a tracksuit. I think I agree. I don't like the way they feel.
That's why
I think they drape on me a little too much. I need something that feels like it's going to maintain its structure a little bit more than a tracksuit.
I also feel like when I wear a tracksuit, I feel like I got to be doing something versus a sweatsuit. It's like, oh, I could be doing something, but I could also chill out.
Mm-hmm.
You can chill in a tracksuit.
It's a very specific fit. Like it just seems like it's for a certain kind of thing, and it can't wear as many hats as like a pair of joggers and a hoodie can. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
And it does go back to the noise factor for me with Jam was saying, like, even the noise of just like moving around in the chair, like vinyl or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The joggers thing has been such a game changer, Grubb, because like I wouldn't wear flannel pajama pants on a plane, which is normally what I would just wear around the house. But then you got me into joggers. Man, both flights I took recently, just wearing those like bonobos joggers there, just white t-shirt, just fucking comfy, basically wearing pajamas. But it's socially acceptable. It's
There
great.
we go.
My the slacks I was wearing the entire weekend, turns out those were actually joggers. They just
There
kind of
you
look like
go.
slacks.
Hey,
Like
hell
Bakalar, those
yes.
like saying, I'm like, all right, I looked those up. I got some on Amazon cheap, and it worked great.
We're just gonna start
Honestly,
painting our thighs. Isn't that the next step? Is like just paint your thighs to look like pants.
Spray on pants.
It's like
Yeah,
nothing at
spray
all.
jeans.
Yeah.
We got to do
Spray
something about
jeans.
the junk, but like we'll figure that out.
Yeah, I've been doing like a squat test lately. When I try pants on, it gets real awkward in the fitting room. Just because I incur too many crotchal rips because the pants can't handle how flexible I am and how big my thighs are. I bought some nice hiking pants. Y'all should also perhaps check out hiking pants. Very breathable.
Okay. All right. That sounds
Typing
promising.
that in.
Yeah.
All right. Next email is fortunately for some folks and unfortunately for a lot of other folks about wrestling. Hey, Bombers. It took me an embarrassingly long time to realize wrestling was fake as a child. I was probably 11 at the time, watching as some good guy stayed concussed against the rope just long enough for Rey Mysterio to flex and then swing through the ropes and kick him before it clicked that it was a fake product. My sense of betrayal was all-consuming, and thus began my villain origin story. That being said, how old were you guys when it sunk in that wrestling wasn't real? Did it lose any magic for you at that point? P.S. Per the last Bombcast and assumptions about hobbies and talents, my assumption is that Bakalar is secretly good at ballet. You learned to dance ironically. Cheers, Pat from the land of cheese curds.
Man, more Wisconsinites all over the place.
Love it.
We're huge in Wisconsin.
I started watching fairly late. I was 9 when I first saw wrestling, which is, I think, late by wrestling terms. I always hear about kids like, oh, I was 5 and watched Hogan or whatever. So I don't know if I ever thought it was real. I remember just like, and whenever I would turn it on when I was getting into it, just like my uncle or my dad or my grandpa would just be like, oh, this is fake. This is fake. This is fake. This is fake. And so like, I think I always had that in my head. So I didn't think the fights were real necessarily, but I still remember when stuff happened, like when Tatanka, brought up for a second time on this podcast, when he joined the $1 Million Man's Corporation and everything, I did feel like I wasn't thinking like, oh, they wrote this storyline to make him turn. I remember being crushed, like, no, I love Tatanka, or like when Owen turned on Brett and stuff like that, it really got me. So some element of me bought into the storylines as
Drama.
real.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever thought it was like a shoot fight,
I was devastated when it turned out Rikishi was a bad man.
He was it said so. He said so, and he's saying it. Yeah.
It's still a top 10 theme. Don't fight me, I'll fight you.
I definitely feel like as we were turning it on, everyone in my house would just be like, that's fake. And I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, it's still the funniest thing when people do that now when they find out you're a wrestling fan. It's like, it's all like fake. It's like,
I'm like, yeah,
no,
so is every TV
what?
show. Like, what? Yeah, like, what? You think anything is real on TV? Like, what do you mean? Why
you think that much drama happens to real doctors on Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah. But like, I just remember me and my brother were like, we would like sell each other on like things that happened as like feats of strength. Like, when Hogan body slammed Andre, he broke he ripped every muscle on his back and stuff like that. And we knew like the overall was fake, but it's like all the feats of strength were real. And they say they were, but we would like make them even bigger in our heads and stuff.
Sure.
Stuff like that.
I mean, but that is what's the shoot part is like, the pain and obviously and everything, but like Lesnar F5ing Omos is shoot impressive, and you have to be strong as fuck to do that. Lesnar doing that to Big Show or Rikishi, like that shit's incredibly impressive from an athletic standpoint.
Yes,
so that's a shoot.
There is a physicality that cannot be overlooked, whether or not the outcome is fake. Just seeing we bring this up a lot lately, but Kenny Omega versus El Vikingo. Jesus Christ, how does physics work? And watch any Ray Fenix match, and you will question physics.
I actually stumbled into the comments for what's that? The weird producer from WWE that it has his own podcast now, but it's not part of the Conrad universe.
Dan Reichert?
Which one?
I don't know. I was gonna say he's very carny, but they all are. Anyway,
Cornette.
Cornette, yes, thank you, yes,
okay.
yes, and it does seem like his thing is like any AEW fight, he's just got to criticize a lot for some reason. And he, like the comments for that were like them all like making fun of Kenny rolling onto the table so that Vikingo could do that awesome double somersault onto the table, and I'm like, guys, you're missing the point. Like this is just an awesome thing to behold. It's all good. You could just enjoy it, and they refuse to let themselves enjoy it. That fight was just too good.
Wrestling specifically, I remember like within the last maybe 3 or 4 years, fairly recently, I remember I was saying something about somebody being a really good wrestler, and my dad scoffing and being like, okay, look, it doesn't exist. It's fixed. It's fake. You can't be a good wrestler. Like anybody can just do a bunch of steroids and be a good wrestler. And I was like, Dad, what are you talking about? I was like, just jacked up guy would be like a wrestler. It's like, no, you have no idea what the fuck you are talking about. There are historically a lot of jacked up dudes that sucked ass at wrestling.
I mean, Goldberg's first real matches and stuff against Steve
DDP and
and then
Regal.
Steve Regal, and
when Regal just stretched him,
it was like Steve Regal just made him kind of look a little bit dumb, but it's like he was like trying to put on a real match, and Goldberg stumbling around and stuff, not knowing where to be, and it's like that's when I started like, this is like a real dance that you have to understand the language of.
Wrestling's dangerous. People keep tearing their quads in the ring,
Yeah.
No, that's just
Both
people
of
that
them.
shouldn't be wrestling.
Yeah.
But
all right.
I was thinking, I think that might be the funniest thing that's ever happened at a WrestleMania. I was
yeah.
really racking my brain. I was asking people, I was like, has anything funnier ever happened at a WrestleMania than Shane McMahon returning, instantly exploding his quads, and then Snoop Dogg has to save the show with a people's elbow? That's so fucking funny.
Have you seen the video of the cameraman yelling, Snoop, punch him, punch Miz.
People's elbow.
People's elbow, yeah.
And Shane just going, I'm fucked. Yeah. And Snoop just being genuinely hilarious about it. Like,
yeah, Snoop ruled.
God, I love that.
All right, 2 more emails, folks. This one comes from Calum. Hi, chaps. Speaking of assumptions last week, I'm pretty sure Grubb smokes things in his back garden. Meats or otherwise. Talk us through your setup and some of the best things you've smoked. Keep up the great work. Love, Calum from London, sent from my iPhone.
Fair assumption. I would love to smoke things, but I've also gotten to a point where I'm like not sure the effort into like doing that sort of thing is worth it, because it's like you can make really good food inside
It's
pretty
so
easily.
long, right?
It takes a long
process,
time.
yeah.
I know that's like going to be blasphemy to a lot of people that like really respect the meat arts, but I'm like,
Marts.
yeah, the marts.
Marts.
And I know there's people that like swear by it, and if they want to like guide me through it, I'd be more than willing. But
If I could have brisket at home, Jesus Christ.
right,
I think
You
it's
can without
it's never
knowing how
been
to do
easier.
anything.
Yeah, like you can do like it. I think smoking meat is very. It's time consuming, but I think it's easier than it has been. You can get these like very set it and forget it kind of smokers that like it's it's doable.
but it's like any of these other things that we like will get into where there is like a cult involved, like the keyboard thing.
Oh,
That's where people are
totally. Yeah.
like there are people
Smoke
who are
pervs, yeah.
into smoking stuff and they're a smoker, and I'm like, that would be another thing that would have to become a hobby for me, and I'm trying to be like.
And
I try to
we're-
resist a lot of that these days because I'm like, I have enough hobbies.
And we're going
I-
all in on Magic, so there's no space for anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's right.
Magic, I would
True.
definitely. I'm right there.
Yeah.
That's a big commit. Yeah.
All right. Last email of the show, boyos. Hi, Bomb Crew. I was listening to the recent podcast, and I wanted to hear some advice from the master of the bake, Jeff Grubb. What are your best tips for baking croissants? Thanks, Jared from Eureka, California.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is to believe. The second thing is to always do it with a French accent, and it just helps if you really go in there and if you're angry when you're kneading the dough, it always turns out better because there's all those air pockets in there. If you're angry at it when you get in there, that really helps with the flavor. Air pockets are the enemy of the croissant, as we always say.
I don't think that's true.
I want to say there's
Hey,
nothing.
listen, who
but
would know
air.
here? All right,
I mean, that's
hobby.
right. That's right. Yes, your assumed hobby. Folks, continue to write in about your assumptions on hobbies and expertise. Keep asking for advice, which you believe we could be experts in. My advice to baking croissants: don't do it. It takes way too damn long.
Do it with chocolate. Oh my
You can just
god.
buy one. Just buy a croissant.
Buy a good croissant.
Places.
Yeah.
They
But if
had
you are
these-
gonna do it, go use get the good butter. You deserve it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
treat
butter
yourself.
with Dr. Pillsbury's croissants. You're all good.
He's a doctor. Trust
He's a
him.
doctor, right? The doctor of dough.
I just want a nice croissant right now. That sounds so
Yeah,
good.
I was having these. This place I was at, they had chocolate croissants every morning. It's just like I had to eat them. I couldn't not eat them. Like a little. How do they get it so perfectly distributed inside the croissant? That's what I don't understand.
Sir 5000, you slut. Coffee and chocolate croissants. What the?
Oh, let's go.
What do you-
That's all I need. I
God
could eat that once in the morning and be good all day.
I'm going to New Orleans soon, and the beignets and coffee is a good situation down there. Doing some of that.
Why did we get donuts or something while we were all together? Oh man,
There was that voodoo donut place that I kept eyeing. I'm
Nah,
like,
that
man,
place is mid as hell. Don't.
It's okay. I didn't know. I have no idea, but I wanted donuts real bad.
All right, folks. Before we sign off here, a couple shout outs. Which lives on the Google Doc, and I'm glad I don't regret it this week. Special shouts out to Emma Fife, Bailey Myers, Michael Myers, yeah, okay, Dave Klein, he went by David in high school, that's a little creepy, Gallagher 3, Beeford all day, your mother, with a emoji, Dan's fisting machine, Dan's polo shirt, arm massagers, Jesus Christ. Did anyone see that ludicrous display last night? Happy Easter Xbox, the Giant Bomb store, miss you Roar Dog. Thought there was someone next to me. The Ariana Grande skins are back in Fortnite, and croissant emoji. For the rest of this week, boyos, what do we got popping off? We got tomorrow, Game S mornings on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. This is going to be a fun week, y'all. On top of all the content that is coming out tomorrow, we're going to have ourselves a little party, a little 4-way party. We're going to have should we say it?
Say it.
A Four Swords Fiesta.
Oh, yes. I thought you were saying Mario Party. I was like, wait, what are we doing?
You got all serious for a second.
Oh, yeah. Four Swords.
Yes, taking place over the Grubber Lang time slot. We will, a little bit later than the normal Grubber Lang's time slot. Got some meetings. There will be a special episode of Grubber Lang dropping tomorrow, as well as a little bonus. Also, this week, we've thrown Mike Minotti into the pit. It is his turn to partake in Blight Club. We won't say it just yet. We don't want spoilers.
If you want to see what
we aren't even going to say it. I have a video file that I have not watched yet, in which maybe one Alex Navarro will announce to Mitch what his game will be. Yes.
Beauty.
Yes.
Like we mentioned at the tippity-toppity of the show, archives from DreamHack will be popping up throughout the rest of the week. The travelogues will take a little bit of time to edit, so those will also pop up. But guys, it'll be fun. It's going to be great. Also, this past yesterday, another episode of Play It Forward dropped. Dan and I back at the helm where it all started. And hey, let me tell you, that jacket is real mighty hot. Dan, Jeff, and you folks at home, everyone right now gets 5 podcast points. Go do with that
You're
what
writing
you
that down,
will.
right? Write that down.
Yes, I'm writing all this down and keeping track of all the podcast points that we're doling out. The kids may be in the lead, but there is that some person with 1,000 podcast points. You can also shift your podcast points around. So, hey, do with them what you will. And we will see you next week for another episode of the Giant Bombcast. You can't redeem your podcast points at the Giant Bomb store. I'm sorry.
But you could try.
You can try.
Send them over here.
Store.giantbomb.com.
It's now open. Buy the gimmicks a shirt.
Buy the gimmicks a gimmick.
No, none of them are Uncle Mikey. Just because he's